Sam O'Reilly with the Fight Talk podcast. Myself and Richie Gray. How are you, sir?
Good.
Good. Nice vest you're sporting today.
Cheers, mate.
Sun's out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out. It's roasting up in here, though.
It's because the heating's on, that's all. We are joined by Linus Linus Udofia.
You're right, yeah.
Does it affect you when you hear a woman say your name like that? Does it like, who's Linus? I don't know who that guy is.
You laugh at it for like a second and then you just walk
Do you remember this? Do you remember Darren Barker boxed for a world title in America, and Michael Buffer introduced him as Darren Baker. He was like, it broke my heart. He said it broke my heart. The one time Buffer's introducing me, he gets my fucking name wrong. Anyway, yeah, we're here. It's 2 weeks since we've done the last pod. We have Ryan Walker, who's fighting for the English. Saw him briefly last night at the Copper Box. Good to see Ryan. Linus, you've been on here. How many times have you been on this pod? Twice. This your second?
Twice. No, third.
Nah, you're lying.
I came on ages ago and we had pizza here, and then I came on again where it was like 4 of us.
That wasn't a pod though. We just did discussions.
Yeah, but I've been here.
But you've come.
Said, how many times have you been here?
So this is your hat trick, is what you're saying. Yeah. I'll get you a match glove and sign it or something if you want.
Yeah. If anything, that would devalue the glove stand.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Ouch. Right, let's talk about some boxing. There's literally so much to go through, and between us, we've seen some of it, probably most of it. I was at 2 shows. You and me were at 1 together. Linus, we'll come on to you a bit later, obviously. But we'll start with the MTK show. I arrived just after Frierson and Johnny Coyle had boxed, so we missed both of them.
Yeah, I missed both of them.
Apparently, just tick over fights got the jobs done. Well, I say tick over. Mitchell's only 3-0, so he's still in his
learning fight. Johnny was a tick over.
Yeah. And we walked in on Jamal Akai's debut. He's a Daily Perales fighter out of the All Stars gym in Maida Vale. Looked good, rangy, light heavy. Looked all right. Had a few people knocking about that had never seen boxing before in their lives. You could tell. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Come with his mates. Fair play to him, man. They were chatting to us. He was trying to. One of their guys was asking me about what we do, the pod, and so fair play to him.
I was sitting in front. I goes, "What weight is this?" He goes, "Mate, I ain't
got a clue. Yeah,
got a clue, mate."
Yeah, so he just
an heavyweight for all I know.
But he's supporting his mate, buying a ticket. So fair play to him. Let's talk about some of the fights of note from Friday night's MTK show. The first one, Dan Aziz, Charles Adamu. That's a good fight.
I thought that was nice. Good move from Dan to take that fight. Because he's not got, although he might be on the road, he's not like got 10 straight losses, has he? He's got a few losses, but it's been more. He's just lost a few of late. A couple of losses, a few wins, a loss, a win. Mixed. It's not like he's just decided going on the road and started losing all the time. Yeah,
if you look at his record before the fight, he was 32-11. Only ever been stopped once, and that was by George Groves. He's boxed Rocky Fielding. He's boxed Isaac Chilemba. He's boxed Carl Froch, who went 12 rounds with him for the Commonwealth. Do you know what I mean? So Dan was never going to stop him, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It was a learn for Dan. We spoke to him after the fight, and I said to him I would have liked to have seen him step off a little bit more, because you could see he was pressuring him the whole time, and he looked good against someone like Charles. But step off a little bit.
Like I said to you on Saturday, sometimes Dan's one pace in the sense that he's the same pace. Everything he does is the same pace, the same speed, everything's the same. Sometimes I like to see him step off, touch him with a jab, and then move off. Set him up, draw him in.
And then rush him.
He might be able to draw him into shots, and he might get more stoppages. He can obviously punch, but a bit of time into it, I don't think would hurt. Because he's so strong, I feel like he's in a pattern now of push him back. Might benefit him to step back, and then they can walk into something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you'd have stopped Charles Adamu unless you had a fucking bus to hit him with or something, because that man is 41 years old. He's got a head like... He's just...
He looked like George Foreman.
Yeah, he did.
He looked like old George Foreman with his little afro and that.
And then after the fight, he just sat ringside nicely like a little old man in the corner, like crazy.
Bumped fist with everyone as he walks past, sat down on his own, chilled.
Exactly, but he's one of them guys where you just think, just fair play to him, man.
Was it that security bird? She goes, "Have you got a wristband?" And he
fist bumped her.
She goes like that. He was like that. And walked past her.
Bless him. But no, it was a good fight. Definitely a good learning fight for Dan, and I'm sure he's gonna learn a lot from fights like that. Donovan Mortlock made his debut against your old mate Casey Blair.
Yeah, that was only his second fight ever.
It's his second fight ever. Yeah, I've read this. He had 1 white collar, no amateurs. He spent some time in the clink, so it's only his second ever fight. He looked alright. Do you know anything about this guy, Donovan Mortlock?
Unfortunately, no.
No. He's
right,
boxed out at Hammersmith out of State of Mind Fitness. Was talking to his boys after, his trainer Sean Earls. They said he's a good bloke. He's obviously making up for lost time. 30 years old.
Don't look it.
Don't look it.
It looks like he should be an actor in Kidulthood, though, doesn't he?
It does look like he should be an actor in Kidulthood. He looks like Noel Fielding's little cousin or something. But yeah, no, it was a good, it was a decent enough fight. And do you know what? The next fight they had 2 fights with just foreign home corner and foreign away corner, and we're going to touch on this because they had Neslan Machado against Fadilia Majiha for the WBA International Super Bantamweight title.
Yeah.
Now, let's get it right. They are called MTK Global. I fully understand that they are reaching all corners of the world in the boxing market. They're trying to corner it. I get that. I get it was being shown on Box Nation last night.
That's the one I sat and watched with Danny and ID, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because Danny knew one of them.
Danny
boys.
knew Machado, yeah. So, but the problem I have with it is, know your audience. You're at York Hall, and obviously I don't know...
Yeah, but do you think... This has just popped to me now. Do you think most of the money that was at that show wasn't coming through the people walking through that door? People watching. So they've got supporters all around the world.
Yeah.
That is their audience.
It's a good point. It felt weird to have no ticket sellers in that fight.
Like I said, on the day, that whole event, it was a good event. There was good boxing, like a mix of everything, learning fights, step-up fights, 50-50s, bit of everything. Wasn't elite in production for me. Like, it wasn't elite in setup.
They got rid of the scaffold that
It's
Lee
not even
uses.
just that, it just felt different. It was good. They're just working together now, so obviously they've got to learn to work together, use what work. It wasn't a bad show anyway, it was a good show.
Yeah.
I liked what they had, the boxing was good and it was great, but it did not feel like a Leeton setup. Like when I go to a Leeton show, it's always loud, it's always
Leeton,
busy.
you're saying it as one
I'm
word,
saying it
Leeton.
because Leeton.
Lee Eaton is his
a
name.
Leeton show, that's what we're calling it now.
Leeton, a Leeton show.
MTK Leeton. It just didn't feel like a normal MTK London show. It felt different.
What I'm thinking now is that because they've got this Box Nation deal, all of their shows around Britain are going to probably look the same. I might be wrong, but it's kind of like this is the way the production and the setup is.
One?
That's MTK London's first one, but they had an MTK Scotland
they're
on.
learning. I think they will change a bit over time because remember it's their first one. They're both sort of getting their input of what they want to do and what they want to do. Eventually, they'll come to agreements on everything. Some bits will change that they like, some bits they don't.
Yeah, that's the way it works with everything, isn't it?
I wasn't unhappy. I thought it was a brilliant show.
Yeah.
Nice mix of boxing. No,
Yeah.
It's not a complaint. It's just
Yeah,
it didn't
no,
feel
it's
like a usual MTK London
it's
show.
you're allowed. It's an observation, isn't it? It's an observation that felt different from Ali and what he's done up to
What he
now.
usually
But
does, yeah.
yeah,
Not in a bad way, just different.
yeah, just different. But just on that Machado fight again, I was just saying it just felt different having obviously no ticket sellers. None of them. They're both foreign guys with no following of note in this country as of yet. And the fans were sort of watching it respectfully, but also looking at their watches, going, "When's Sammy McNess on? When's Sonny Edwards on?" You know what I mean? They were. I get it. It made TV and you're MTK Global. It just felt weird being in the venue with no one, especially York Hall, which is famous for having its people come out to support them. Do you know what I mean? Like we just said with that Donovan Mortlock.
Listen, it bulked out the card. The card was nice. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't too many fights. There was a few title fights. It bulked out the card nicely. Whether they liked it or not, it was a fight. If you took that fight away, you lose an hour of the show. Is the show too short without that fight as well?
Yeah. Michael McKinson and Sammy McNess was the next fight.
I thought it was going to be better.
You thought the fight would be
I
better?
thought it would be more action-packed, I'll be honest. I expected a bit more from Sam. I rated Sam. When he turned pro, I rated Sam. I thought, this kid's good. Like, I remember in the amateurs, done a hell of a lot. Mostly as a junior, though. I think that's an important thing to remember, is mostly as a junior amateur. I don't know if he did as much as a senior. I don't think he won anything of note as a senior. I expected a lot from Sam when he turned pro. Maybe it's just because I thought a lot more of him than what he's actually done so far. Last night, I thought there was better of him.
Yeah. Linus, you watched this fight all the way through, or you seen highlights?
Highlights here and there. I was watching it for a while and then I had some things I needed to get on with. So
going into the fight, how did you see it playing out? Obviously, McNess came off the Senior Byfield. It was a bad defeat because the Senior stopped him, and as we said, the Senior's not really. He bashed him up. And he's not really a puncher, is he? Like a Senior. So he got bashed up from him. Changed. He's now with Gary Logan. He had one fight and then he's gone straight into a fight with McKinson. How did you see it playing out before that? Because obviously, like you said, he's done a lot as a junior. Everyone knows Sammy McNess in and around the scene, but Michael McKinson's a tough fighter, man.
yeah, it's tough. I just like you. I thought he just like Richie. I thought he'd just do better. He just didn't do enough. He didn't do, in my opinion, anything. I thought he'd just come out and kind of manhandle.
There was times where it got to a point where you think you need to start working now.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah. You know what I mean?
obvious,
You
like,
have to pick it up. Like,
getting desperate would have been better than what you're doing.
What you're doing isn't
100%.
working,
He
so
was
change
literally
something.
just walking forward.
But he was happy to keep doing what was definitely not working.
Yeah,
it was
just
like,
wasn't.
to me, it questioned his will.
But then again, at the same time, you've got to question that corner as well. You can't just
No,
say,
it's not, you
maybe
can't
it's
blame
him.
him. Yeah.
It's a new corner. They might not be telling him that.
They might be saying, keep doing what you're doing. It's working.
Yeah.
You're not
You
seeing
know
what's everyone else.
you don't know, but it just. Well, it wasn't a great performance. I'm not really sure where it goes from there. To be fair.
That's a good point. Where does Sammy go from here? Like, well, I said it to you on the night. It's entirely possible Sammy McNess's level is Southern area, but obviously he got beat for it when he boxed Byfield. But that doesn't mean that, like, Byfield, for all we know, is fringe British. Obviously, we have an idea after last night's fight with Ted Cheeseman, but we yet don't know where Ted Cheeseman goes.
I think it's hard to judge at the minute because
It's
very
hard.
We expected more of Sam than what he actually's got, and I think Byfield beat what everyone thought was a really overhyped Sam. So Byfield looked better off the back of beating someone that we thought was better than he actually is.
Okay.
That makes sense. So
I get what you're saying.
We thought Sam was an 8, and then he got beat by Byfield, and we thought, okay, Byfield must be well good. Then he's got beat by Ted, but he got beat up by Ted really. And then you think, well, maybe Byfield's not, and Sam's actually not the 8 we thought he was.
Yeah.
Sam's actually probably more of a 5.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
I get that.
Yeah, time will tell.
I get that. Yeah.
McNess might be Southern area level. He might be. He might go up to English level. He's going to take a lot of rebuilding now after the two tests he's had.
He's
been
well
convincingly beat.
I would not put him in with McCarthy or Billy Bird and that little Harper. It was Harper, wasn't it?
Harper, yeah.
I would not put him with any of them. None of them are big punchers. Sam's the biggest puncher out of all 3 of them, really.
And in the light middleweight division or super welter, however you word it, there's a thriving domestic scene. As you see, he's had 2 of them already. But there's also the guys that we know coming up. You know, the Adrian Martins, the Dean Richardsons, the Matt McCarthy's, who's been Southern area champion, and Davis Pagan if he can rebuild. So there is going to be fun fights for him if he still wants to have those kind of fights. But you don't know a guy's. I've never had a proper conversation with Sammy. I'll be honest. I don't know what his ambitions were in the sport. I don't know what he was hoping to achieve, what he is hoping to achieve.
If you thought you was me a world beater,
and you've seen it, yeah. If he believed he was going to win British and European and stuff, and he's failed at these 2 hurdles, he might go, that's enough for me. I'm not where I thought I'd be. But then he might go, oh, my dream now is to be Southern area champion. So time was telling him, but yeah, he didn't display what a lot of people have been saying he has for a couple of years.
Listen, he surprised me. When he got beat by Byfield, I actually thought Sam was going to bash Byfield. And then when it comes to this fight here, I thought, you know what, I put Byfield down last time. I said, I've got to give... I didn't call this fight because I wasn't sure because of what I thought last time. So with Sam, I thought maybe he got a bit shell-shocked on the day when he boxed Byfield. Was it the occasion, Byfield getting his head? What was it? But maybe after McKinson, you think, well, maybe he sort of found his level.
What did you know about McKinson, Linus, before this fight?
Not too much. Not too much at all, to be fair.
No.
I've seen him fight once or twice, but that was it.
Yeah, see, he doesn't have many stoppages. He's not a guy that's going to bomb you out of there. But I think he was slicker than I thought he would be.
Yeah, that's what surprised me.
Yeah,
I've seen him fight for that
WBC
International. Yeah. I've seen him fight for that, and I thought, yeah, he looked alright. Like, he's looked alright. The guy he had weren't a lot, but it doesn't take anything away from him. But at the same time, he looked really slick. He looked really slick on Friday. And
he switched hit a few times as well. He would end up in Southpaw and he'd box there for a couple of minutes. I like seeing that. I like it when a guy's comfortable to, however he lands, he boxes like that. You know, they don't have to be regimented straight back to orthodox and guard straight up. I like that, and that's what I liked about Byfield as well. It's something I enjoy watching a Byfield, that he'll throw punches from different angles and different sides, and I do like that in it. And McKinson did that quite a bit on Friday night, but he's going to be in some fun fights now. McKinson's going to be in some good. I'd like to see him do domestic, because obviously he's got this. That was for a WBC Silver International or whatever it is. Let's see him go English and British route. You know what I mean? Why not? He's going to be in some good fights now. So yeah, I think that it was a good fight. It was a good test for both boys, and McKinson came through with flying colours. The last fight of the night we left for. Sonny Edwards.
Back the big fight.
I was going to say the big fight. It was the main event, wasn't it? Sonny Edwards and Ryan Farag for the WBO European Bantamweight title. Apparently Sonny Edwards scored him.
Yeah.
Won pretty much everything. I didn't see anything from this. I was in a car on the way home. Sonny Edwards, I don't know. People tend to not like him, isn't it? He's quite an annoying little face, I guess. He's a little bit annoying, but he's a very good boxer.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not giving him the credit he deserves, but Ryan Farag was a good test for him, and for him to school him the way he did, I think it can only be good things for him. We're going to talk about. Well, I'm going to talk about the Matchroom show.
It's alright. I watched it too. Don't worry.
I was
You
going to
watched
go,
some of
I
it,
was
didn't
going
you?
to go, but I
Alright.
didn't invite, did I?
You didn't get
You know
invited.
what?
I don't get invited. Like Eddie Hearn doesn't phone me and go, "Listen, I ain't going to be there, but if you could go, that'd be great." Do you know what I mean? It didn't work
I
like
thought
that.
we was a team. He was like, Rich, I'm going to go to the show. You should, come along.
I'll be honest. I did not expect to get media for Matchroom. I mean, I'm
If
hoping.
they only let you go, they thought it was me. Oh, Rich, he's on one of the fights.
I'm
Rich, it won't be
hoping
sad.
if all is forgiven. I'm hoping that now Dan Barnard is there. He's their media guy for England. It used to be Anthony Levi, who now is over in New York for Matchroom USA. So I'm hoping they put it all to. We're all friends now. You know, Tyler Goodjohn don't even box anymore. Don't worry about Tyler. It's all is forgiven. So I think. Listen, we got media. I got media. I sat ringside. There were £200 tickets then. Mad. I mean, crazy. I don't know where people get the money from to go to boxing, man.
When I went to Hey Belly 2, and Hey was like, "Oh yeah, I've sorted you out some tickets." And I was like, "Yeah, sweet. You guys just go to the box office and get them."
Yeah.
Oh, and they were like 400 each. And I was like, and the seats were, I'm not saying they were shit.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say they were shit because they were great. But I got there and I was
Don't
like,
mean they're bad, David.
no, trust me, you know where it's like floor level, the O2?
Yeah.
And then literally a stand up where everyone's literally just further up.
Yeah.
That's where we was.
I'm
And I thought,
surprised, man, you
and I
paid for
thought-
where you are.
and I thought, fucking.
You know, for that fight, the ringsides were £2,000. For Hey Belly,
No.
they were £2,000. Yeah, I know who would have bought a couple.
Hell.
Yeah.
Well, literally, I was sitting there thinking, you lot caked it in.
I was chatting to the
You
mayor
lot
of
made
Brixton
money,
at
man.
last night's show, Rob Martin, and he was there. And
Shout out Rob Martin.
Shout out
He's
Rob
G.
Martin. He's a
fucking G.
He's a fucking hero, man.
He's
Have you
a
met
G.
him? I'm sure you've met him once at your call, Rich.
If he was my dad, I'd be happy. He's a G.
A little white man was your dad. You wouldn't be happy,
Yeah,
like
but
that.
all I'm saying is, you'd have a great childhood. You'd be doing bits.
Yeah,
from early.
you'd be doing
Just because of
bits.
him.
You would be doing
You'd be
bits.
doing bits. From
I
early.
was chilling with him for a little while last night when I was floating around. And yeah, he obviously he comes out for Brixton. That's why I called him. I nicknamed him the mayor of Brixton, and it's stuck.
Yeah, it is stuck. Yeah.
And he bought his ticket off Isaac, £200 VIP ticket.
Yeah.
You get free bar till
He
7:30.
buys tickets off every fight.
Yeah,
Every-
no, he does,
every-
he does it off
every
me.
Brixton
Look,
fighter.
Look, shout out to him again, because one time I was at a show. I was just watching my mate. He come in, he's like, "Yes, Lauren, what are you saying?" I was like, "What's going on?" Talking to him for literally about 10 seconds. He goes, "When you're fighting," I was like, "Oh, July this, July that, or June this," and he's like, "Have you got a ticket?" I goes, literally in the car, and he goes, "Yeah, come, let's go get him."
You know when I
Took like
retired?
4 tickets,
I
and
love
just
that.
right on the spot.
When
and
I
was like,
retired,
you know what,
I had a
fair
fight and then I cancelled because of my hands.
play. Yeah.
And he was going to come to the fight, and then I go, "Oh, I'm not fighting now." And I told him, he was like, "That's all right, take my money because
Yeah.
you were trying to help you out." Like,
Is that what he
I was
said?
like, "I'm not taking your money." He was like, "No, well, give me your details, take my money." And
Yeah.
Mate,
You can
he's a
get yourself-
fucking...
get yourself
He
on your
sound
feet,
like,
mate.
he sound like
He's
he's
top
not.
bloke, man.
You know, look, I'm not gonna
Proper
lie.
boxing fan.
You meet like doing the small hall stuff and going on pods.
It's a little community, innit?
But you meet some wrongins as well. Like, I'm not gonna trust me. I'll say it.
Yeah.
You meet some
Man,
weird.
he's right here, bro.
you meet some weird people,
Yeah,
like,
for
and,
real.
I'm like, I'm sitting there like, you know, I'm kind of scared for my life, innit? But Rob's probably even my favourite.
Yeah.
He's
Rob's the kind of bloke I would have him round here. I'd say come
100%.
We'll come round and watch the boxing.
What
Like
are you saying? Well, let's go. I'll happily go. Yeah, Rob. He's. Oh yeah. That's not nice.
Just quickly,
No, that's one of
Friday and last night. Yeah,
them. One of them.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. She must have dollar. She must have dollar. Because she can't be at all these shows.
mental.
And I probably said too much, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it is what it
Anyway,
is.
she's sound as well. To be fair, she bought tickets off me as well. Anyway, shout out Rob.
Shout out Rob Martin. Yeah, so he was saying like his kid was saying to him, "Oh, Dad, can I come?" He's like, "I can't at this show. Like I've bought my ticket, but he's like, I wish I'd have bought 240s and sat up a little bit higher
Yeah.
because for 200 notes it was a VIP, and he got free bar till 7:30. Well, most people get there at 5 or 6. He's like, I've had 4 beers.
That's it.
What's that? What's that? A score's worth in there? You know what I mean? He's like, it's crazy, man. Like it's not cheap, but that boy, that man supports everyone who can't. He's a
He's one of
gentleman.
my favourite.
He's
sport
a
supporters,
fucking
like,
gentleman.
because, yeah, like if you're the first one to talk to him, I imagine if we was boxed on the same show, he'd buy tickets off you and me.
He probably would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%,
He probably would.
100%.
He's just
He's
he's just a good fucking
He's
dude,
sound,
man.
he's
And he's
sound
not
like-
like, "Oh, I always buy tickets off you." And
No,
it's just,
yeah.
he's
He
so
doesn't
genuine
say
as well.
anything about
He's
it.
so
He
genuine,
doesn't-
yeah,
you know,
he's
he
so
doesn't-
cool about
And
it.
let me
You know
say
what I
one other while we're doing this, Rob Cass. People won't know exactly who these guys are, but they're not only are they massive small hall boxing supporters, they also support the likes of us. Rob Cass is a prime example. There's been times where we've run competitions and stuff, and it's been that he's bought tickets and can't make it, and he's gone, look, you lot take them and help grow you lot. I appreciate everything you do. These men help this shit tick over. You know what I mean? So men and women, yeah. Them crazy fucking Welsh sisters that support the fuck out of you, boys.
I'm staying
Every show they're at.
That Welsh, not. I don't know how to distinguish him. You know the one that always does the videos about, like.
Oh yeah.
She's probably one of the saddest people I've ever met. Obviously, the other one's great as well. She's just bought a new house in like Chigwell, and that's obviously right near my gym. And I remember I was looking at like Airbnbs to try to look for somewhere to stay like 3 weeks before this fight, because I want to be in the gym every day, like 3 times a day, literally. And she was she just went, oh, you know, I've got like a 5-bed house now. When you got like,
she's got a 5-bed house.
Yeah, £3 million.
She bought this.
£3 million. Anyway, she's like, I've got a spare room. Stay if you want. And I was just like, yeah, sweet. Like, sweet. That sounds good to me. Right, from the gym in a £3 million estate where all the white people are looking at me like. All the white people are looking at me like, whose house are you building?
Robin, who are you to rob?
Trust me. The other day, I tried to train
big
her
up
son.
racial stereotypes.
Yeah. I tried to train her son, yeah, and I was going for a walk with him somewhere. And they were looking at me like, what are you doing here? What on earth are you doing in this gay community? Right. No, shout out.
All them people, man, they help that tick up. Like, you see them all the shows, buying tickets of everyone.
Always.
Saw them at Umar Sadiq's fight, and you'll see it, you, Brad, all you boys. So, mate,
good people.
Good people. We've gone off track. Where were we? Matchroom show. Obviously, I was there, and a couple of things just to note before we get into the actual fights. I thought it was a fucking shame about Spider Richards and Jake Paul. Now, you used to share a gym with Jake Paul, Linus Udofia.
Still do.
No, you don't.
Still do.
Really?
Still do. But
that's a bit weird. What do you mean still do? I thought he boxes out of the Ingle gym.
Yeah, he does. Most times he's like in ours as well.
I think I don't. Well, fuck me. All right, that's some brand new information. I don't know what to read between the lines of that. That's a bit weird. All right. Anyway, we'll skirt over that.
He works with my coach, doesn't he? He does.
But I don't understand.
With my coach as well.
So what? I thought he'd moved to Sheffield to be. Or has he moved back down since he got involved in that Billy Joe Saunders?
Does he train here, moves up there for fights?
He's up and down. He was in Canada the other day, wasn't he? With Billy Joe. Yeah. He's up and down. He's up in Sheffield sometimes. He's down here.
You know Spider quite well.
Yeah.
And you know Jake very well.
Yeah.
What did you make? First of all, it was a very good fight, and I'm pissed off it got cancelled.
I really wanted to see that.
I want your opinion on. I know you can't like the injury. People get injured. Fuck me. People get injured. But on a Monday of fight week, for someone to be pulling out. In my opinion, now I'm not a fighter, and so they can throw that straight back in my face. But I want it to be quite a bad injury for it to be a fight week pull out. Do you understand what I mean?
I understand. I get that 100%. I can't really say anything about it because I don't know anything about it.
Of course.
The last time I saw him was a Tuesday, the week before. So to me, it was fine. We was all messing about. We was doing some little bit of work here. We was doing some technical work. Yeah. Everything was fine. Everything seemed good. And you know what I mean? I don't feel like Jake wouldn't want to fight him.
Yeah. What reason would he have to?
I mean, he wouldn't. Because I've been around him for a few weeks, and he seemed genuinely up for it. Yeah. There was nothing. Like there was nothing to say that this might happen.
He might pull out.
There's nothing to suggest that. So I couldn't tell you. But, you know what I mean? On Monday, if he says his hand is broken or whatever happened to his hand, I believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think he was.
I tend to agree. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would pull out for
no
reason. I just don't like fight week pull-outs. And I want him to be like I want to see a cut. I want you to you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you want to see like you've been robbed and someone hit you with a hammer. Do you know what I mean? Right,
I don't want you to be chronic.
Yeah, no, of course, but I don't know if you're suggesting the injury was a bit.
There's a lot of talk. What I'm saying is there's a lot of talk.
All I'm saying is put yourself in his shoes. Would you really risk, especially?
No, I wouldn't.
On the rebuild.
Yeah,
on the rebuild, you've just got your title. An injury against someone that is lively. Craig Richie, that's a 50-50 fight in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would pull out the same way if I had an injury that I thought, you know what, it's a bit of a handicap going into this fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's fair to say that was his. I mean, the Shinkwin fight, he boxed very, very well, Jake Paul, but I think it's fair to say this fight would have not made or break him.
It would have showed.
But it's his coming out.
It would have showed the level of both of them.
Yeah,
to be fair, it would have showed the level of both of them.
And I feel the reason I feel most gutted for Spider, there was a lot of slanging back and forth on Twitter with, and this is something that I find embarrassing. And you'll probably know who you are because your people listen to this. You may do PR and you may be linked to certain fighters, but you have no fucking right to say to Spider Richards, don't bottle a rematch, don't come back here, blah blah. Your man pulled out, right? It is what it is. He pulled out, and you're saying to Spider, just don't bottle the fight if it gets made for December. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
They're linked to Jake Paul.
I don't know.
I've met Jake Paul. I've interviewed him. I'm not mad at his people, right? I'll tell. Fuck it. JFB Sports, yeah. JFB Sports. I'll say it.
Ooh.
No, do you know what? Because I think I've met him once, and he's linked to, and they're good people. They support. That's fine. And I've had this problem before with a guy that I get on with, Colin Middlemass. Let the fighters do the arguing, and I thought that crossed the line when JFB. Spider's having a rant. He's having a rant.
I don't know JFB.
JFB does the PR for a lot of the guys, Jake Paul and stuff, out of that gym, right? And I don't think he's a bad bloke. I don't. But Spider Richards is having a rant. He's having a rant. He's saying, I'm pissed off. The fight's cancelled. Fuck off, Jake Paul. But I'm angry, right? And what happens is the PR for Jake Paul gets in and starts slagging Craig Richards. That's wrong. I don't give a fuck. That's wrong. Your job is not to slag your fighter's opponent. Your job is to build your fighter. You're saying, oh, Spider, you pulled out of this. Just don't bottle the rematch. That's wrong. I think you have absolutely no right to do that. I get you support your man. Let Jake Paul do his own arguing, or let his manager do his whatever. But you can't, as a PR company, come forward and start being disrespectful to the potential opponent when your guy has just pulled out of fighting him. That doesn't make sense. And they're saying to Spider, just don't bottle the fight if it's made for December. But come on, do the common sense. Fuck it. Your guy just pulled out. How can you say Spider? Listen, I still personally hope the fight gets made. I hope Jake Paul and Spider Richards happens. But if Jake Paul, if Craig Richards decides, you know what, I don't want to go in the Jake Paul camp again because of what happened, who are we to tell him he can't? But I think you have no right as a PR company to throw shade on another fighter when your fighter's pulled out against him. That's my take on it. You can message me, you can tell me I'm a cunt, whatever. I don't think he's a bad bloke. I just think that was wrong. I don't think you have a right to do that. And that's my take on it. All right?
You done?
No, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done because I didn't like that.
That's the first rant we've had in a few weeks, so like, yeah, it happened.
And
sorry about it. It had to be you, but it's happened to someone.
I said Colin Middle with CM Agency. He's a good bloke and he stands by Zach Chelly. But there was a couple of times he went back and forth with Umar Sadiq. You don't need to do that. Let them do it themselves. You know, let them build the fight. As a PR, build your own man. That's my take on it. Maybe I'm the one who's wrong, but that's my opinion, and I'm the cunt with a podcast, so I'll say it. You know what I mean? Right, let's move on to the fights.
I'm the cunt with a podcast.
Yeah. They can just release a video and call me a cunt. It's cool. Move on to the fights that were. Oh yeah, Craig won. He got a knockover job against a late notice opponent, which is where his career has been for a little while. He took the British title fight on 5 days' notice against Buglioni. Didn't disgrace himself. He needs a coming out fight, which is why I think Jake Paul was perfect for him. So I do hope that fight gets remade. The first fight on television last night was Isaac. No, was it Felix Cash? I don't know if Felix Cash made telly. I can't remember. I was at the show, so I don't know. You won't know because you were decorating your house.
I'll decorate now.
Yeah, I don't know if Felix Cash made telly. Anyway, Felix Cash won a 10-round fight for a WBC trinket or something.
$20.
Danyo or Dango or Danyo or Danbro. He looked alright. Felix Cash is one of them guys. He looks like he should punch really hard, and I don't know if he does. I'm not convinced he's a big puncher.
He's middleweight, isn't he?
Middleweight, yeah.
He's a big lump, isn't he, for middleweight? He's a big guy.
That's what I mean. He looks the part.
Yeah.
What's he good at? You sparred him. What's he
good a few times?
What's he good at?
Punching a lot.
Oh, that pause was too long. That pause was too long. You could have said anything.
He's a very good boxer. He's a very, very good boxer. But
you wouldn't say he's like a heavy hitter. He's not.
Nah, I wouldn't say he's heavy-handed. He throws his shots like it is, and then when he hits you, you're like, oh, no, not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. If anything, I said the other day that I don't know if this says Ted Strong or Felix just doesn't hit that hard, but they when I spotted both of them, they both hit. They felt the same. Yeah. Like Ted's, I was like, fucking hell, you hit quite hard for a middleweight. I mean, for a weight lower. And when Felix hit me, it was kind of the same, and I thought I can't tell who that like favours. I'm not really sure. But no, Felix is a really good boxer. Sometimes I think he wants to fight too much. You know. Yeah. I think he just wants to tear it too much. I think he's
Felix
a really good
is one of them guys I hoped would go the domestic route. Because there was a point where I believe he was mandated for Tay's southern area, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of Matchroom guys, and they don't care about Southern Area, which breaks my heart, man, because that's where you see some of the best fights.
Yeah.
So I personally want him to go that route. He's picked up an international trinket, which in my opinion don't mean fuck all. Conor Benn's got one, and a lot of people who we don't know what they're really about have got international trinkets that are irrelevant. Where if you win a Southern Area, I kind of know where you're at. You know what I mean? Whereas you can throw any title at any fight and it doesn't tell me fuck all. So, but listen, we'll see what happens if Felix Cash. Isaac Chamberlain, Luke Watkins. That was the next fight, mate.
You know what? Credit for Vivian Chamberlain coming back after when did he fight?
Cody was in February.
Yeah, that long away to fight someone like Watkins.
Yeah.
Mad credit for him, and he did well. Don't get me wrong, you saw the rush, you saw how tense he was, you saw.
Yeah, he had a couple of rounds in the middle where he looked like it was hard. It was a weird fight. It was like a fight of different stages.
Yeah.
At the beginning, Isaac was boxing.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple of rounds in the middle where he wouldn't stop talking to him.
Yeah.
His hands were down. He was doing bolo. He was like winding up his punches, and the crowd were getting excited.
Enjoying himself.
He was having fun, and I was like, I like this. He's the new like. He was slick.
Rejuvenated. You know
but then he started giving up rounds.
Yeah, he did. He did it at some point.
He was giving up rounds, and it turned out the way the points fucking worked out. With 5 seconds of the fight to go, if Luke Watkins don't take a knee, the fight's a draw.
Yeah.
Or the ref jumps in and he gets stopped.
Yeah.
I think it's impossible to ever question when a fighter takes a knee because he knows how much he was hurt.
Watching it, I thought we did the right choice because whether he was or wasn't hurt, sometimes you just get overwhelmed and you need to reset to get out of it.
Everything seemed to land in that.
Yeah, so it was either he could have tried to hold on, but the ref could have. If he took a few more,
and he don't know there's 5 seconds of the fight left.
No, the ref could have had a case to stop it there.
Yeah,
he had a case. So I think
he had a look.
With another 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So I think he thought, right, if I go down, at least I'll make the count. I'll make the end of the fight.
Yeah,
and I do think it was a smart move.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it happened and it took the fight away from him. But
which is such a shame.
I still don't think he made the wrong choice doing it.
Yeah, being there, it felt like a narrow Chamberlain victory.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, and it would have been a draw if he hadn't have touched down, took a knee. But it was a very good fight, and like you said, it's good to see Isaac come back to that kind of test. And he wants to test himself, Isaac. So he's still young, 24.
He's got plenty of time.
Plenty of time. It is going to be interesting to see where he goes from here because he just beat Watkins, who was the Commonwealth champion. Waddy and Arfan are fighting for the Commonwealth, but Chris Billam-Smith has been mandated for the winner of that. There's a lot of good fights. I just hope they go domestic, man. I really do. He doesn't need to go and box for another WBA international or something. Let's keep these boys domestic and let someone be the best in Britain. Because Okoli, I can't imagine is going to keep that British for very long. He took off Askin. I'm sure they're going to send him out somewhere. So there's going to be lots of boys ready to fight for that title. And I think Isaac will be in fun fights now.
Yeah.
Senior Byfield, Ted Cheeseman, British title fight. How did you see it going before the fight, Richard?
Can we go back to Isaac Chamberlain for a second with his Nando's sponsor?
He changed the game.
He's completed boxing.
He clocked it. He won.
Like nothing he can do in boxing.
On the back of his trunks, he had Nando's.
If he gets 3 Nando's, you're set for life, mate.
What's the point of boxing? You won.
You've completed it.
Yeah.
You've done more than anyone's ever done in the history of boxing.
I might phone him today and say, can I get a celebratory Nando's meal? I'm guessing he's got a black card now, right?
You're my hero.
You know black card, what is it? You get a meal for up to 4 people for free anytime you go, innit? With your black card.
I don't have one.
One day. One day.
We'll get there.
I'm gonna ask him, what do you get out of being sponsored by Nando's?
Anyway,
I'm very jealous.
Ted Cheeseman.
Ted Cheeseman, a senior Byfield. You tell me, what did you think of the fight before? Because I went back and forth with it a lot.
Listen, I didn't decide because I wrote Byfield off when he boxed McNess, but we discussed that maybe Sam McNess was a bit more
wasn't as good as
given more credit than what he actually deserved. So maybe Sam wasn't as good as everyone thought. Byfield's a little bit better than I thought. See, I thought Sam was going to bash him up. He didn't. So going into this, I didn't really want to write Byfield off again. I thought, well,
yeah,
I can't really write him off again because I was so wrong about him last time. But to be fair, when you watch the fight, Cheeseman was just too much. He was on him, stayed in his face, kept the work rate up, and Byfield just couldn't keep up with the pace. I think he couldn't. Mine wouldn't work quick enough. I don't think he was like he didn't have the abilities because he could punch and move with him at times.
He just wasn't processing.
Yeah,
how everything was coming.
That's exactly it. Cheeseman was processing things quicker.
Because at points it felt like Byfield wanted breaks and expected Cheeseman to just step
To
up.
make a
and
decision.
he would not.
He
Yeah,
doesn't.
he would not.
Byfield
So
wanted
every
to
time-
stop and go, right, when he does this, I'll do this.
Yeah,
next
every
time.
time
He
Byfield
doesn't
went
have
to
time.
manoeuvre and think, oh, he's going to step off now, let me get myself together.
Yeah.
There was no chance.
You see him a lot of the times. Byfield would back up, but he was sort of sideways, throwing little pouring jabs
I
to
mean,
try and
after
keep
this,
Ted off him, and he can't. He just-
I've seen
You can't.
Cheeseman now twice
Not-
do this
not-
to
not over
people.
12
I
rounds.
think he'd be in good fights, man. When he gets someone else like him,
Fun.
he's going to
They're
be
gonna fun
He's going to be
fights.
fun.
The talk is him and Anthony Fowler.
We spoke about fighters
Too
before
early.
that are not
Too
that are
early.
good
For who?
boxers.
Too early for Fowler.
In my opinion.
A lot of people think it's an easy job for Fowler because he's a high level. I say high level. Amateur, obviously, his pedigree is better than Ted's.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But pro
I
game,
agree with
we
that.
said a
So
lot. It's
different.
very, very
So
Yeah, you
different.
can say and you got to look at both their styles. I think I don't know. I think Ted's too much for a lot.
And
of
can
people.
Fowler go into a fight against the British champion without ever having had a test?
No.
In the pros, he's never had a test.
Yeah, but then you could argue for the same thing about. I know Lomachenko.
I was
I
going
know
to say the
fighters
same one.
know
Yeah.
Lomachenko.
Yeah.
I know.
But amateur pedigree said that Lomachenko could do it at world titles.
Yeah,
so why
you're right.
can't
Yeah.
Fowler
But
go in
it's
and
not-
do it?
Yeah.
I think more often than not, it doesn't reflect your pro career. But I
It
get that
more often than
sometimes.
not, yeah.
Unless you're a fucking matrix, like just
More often
different.
than not, I think you can come from the amateurs and it doesn't really mean anything.
It doesn't mean it doesn't.
Honestly, it
Because
doesn't.
I get that. I used to get it all the time. They go, yeah, just because you did this in the amateurs don't mean you're going to do anything in the pros. You go into the pros, it's a man's game. You get picked about a bit, then you realise.
There
We
are
discussed
many
it the weekend.
examples.
Like you can
We
in
did.
the amateurs, you got to remember. You say, oh, how come he's a puncher now? And he weren't a puncher then. You wear 10 ounce gloves in the amateurs, but you know yourself, Linus.
Yeah.
They're big 10 ounces.
Oh yeah, the pad is all the way up to
10
here.
That whole
even though
10
they're
ounce,
Yeah.
that whole
But
10 ounces on your knuckles.
The pros are down here. The
Yeah,
pros
yeah.
are like
In the pros, they're like bag gloves that you used to wear. In like
Illegal.
the
Illegal.
90s,
Like
when you had
prison
bag
gloves.
gloves, they're like that in the pros. They want someone to get knocked
yeah,
out.
they
Like,
want someone to get hurt.
So the difference is the longer rounds, obviously, smaller gloves. I think make an enormous difference. In the amateurs, you can get away with being smart for 3 rounds, just being fast,
Literally.
just being fast.
Fencing, that's what I used to do.
Even if you
Fencing.
get, if you get with a bomb in the amateurs, it might buzz you for a second, and that's it. 'Cause
If that, if you
if,
can get
if
buzzed,
if you even
yeah.
get buzzed. So in the pros, you get with a bomb. Sometimes people who have
Mate,
hard hands
stays with you.
feels like you've been hit with a brick.
Did you
doesn't
two
it?
ever cross paths?
No, not in amateurs or the pros.
No,
Never.
never ever.
Not for a single round sparring.
No, crazy.
Where was
innit?
you? Was you Luton area?
What, in the amateurs?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hardcore Ring. But I fought everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. In championships, I went all round for championships, but no.
Crazy, isn't it? You get some guys that have they've always got little links. Oh, I remember him in this. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then some guys
Me,
just
you know,
doesn't.
me and Brad were meant to fight in the amateurs.
You and Brad were meant to fight in the amateurs.
Because I remember he came in. I didn't even remember it until he
Where
came
did
in.
he train? Because obviously he's from down there. He's got.
Southampton. He trained in Southampton when he was in
Southampton.
uni. That's when he
Okay.
did like the senior years of his fighting.
Yeah.
And he came down to the gym, and this is when he was having his debut. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." I just remember I was like, "Yeah, I'm Linus," and that. And we spoke for a bit. And the next time he came in, and he's like, "Did you fight for like a club in Luton?" And I was like, "Yeah, Hardcore Ring." Because I think I was meant to fight you in this and this, and I remember it because I was meant to fight Felix Cash and Brad in the same week.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
no,
Can you
it was
imagine
like-
that?
yeah, I was meant to fight, and they both didn't happen.
Why,
anyway.
why did them fights not happen? Is it one
It's
away
amateur
literally
anything.
anything.
Listen,
I think to be
amateur
fair,
different.
the week before I'd fought like 3 times in that week,
Yeah.
and I was meant to fight on Saturday, and then Brad on a Monday. So I was meant to fight Felix Cash on a Saturday, and then Brad on a Monday, and then my coach just went, "You know what? We're not going to do that."
Yeah.
I can honestly say I think that's what it was.
Night sometimes.
Yeah, the amateurs are
Yeah,
crazy.
back in the day, you
What?
could box twice in one night.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Championships and that.
The worst one was the Haringey Box Cup, and I'm not going to shout it on him. You can fuck off. But Haringey Box Cup, yeah, you get there the first fucking round. You get there, and you weigh in at like midday. I didn't fight till 1 in the morning. I weighed in at midday, and they expect me to be on the same weight the next day if I got through. What do you mean?
Hell.
That's like illegal. You shouldn't be able to do
Yeah.
that. And they went, actually, no, it's alright, you can have half a kilo. So I was like,
Oh my god, a pound.
I was like, by the time
pound.
by the time I've rehydrated,
You got a sip of water,
to get
that's a
into that
pound.
ring. I'm already about 2 keys over. Don't give me that
That
shit.
shit sounds more dangerous than they do in the pros.
Do you know in the
man.
amateurs, I used to always be able to walk about my weight.
Yeah.
I was well
Yeah,
in the amateurs,
yeah, I was good in it.
Not now. Like, as a pros, I'd weigh in at 73. By the time I get in there, I was at least 82 most of the time.
Yeah, but you got to think about it as well. The gaps between your fights are different. In the
Yeah.
amateurs,
Yeah, you have to
I was
stay.
short in that. I only did amateurs for about 2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
but I had about 40 fights in that space because I was fighting every single weekend,
Yeah.
twice a week, all the time. So I was never. There was
That's
never
the
a point.
bollocks, though, isn't it? In championships,
Yeah.
when you just keep going through,
Yeah.
you can have like
Literally
2
always.
months and you'll have like 6 or 7 fights,
Always,
8 fights.
yeah,
It's
always
fucking
fighting.
mad.
But obviously doing that, you don't really have that gap to kind of balloon up a little bit. In the pros, you've got 2 months in between fights. Sometimes you just take a week off, get, you know what I mean? And it's good for you to
You
do
can
that.
get away with just fighting at whatever weight in the amateurs as well, within reason.
Yeah,
and then,
2-3 years.
I used to
you could
box
probably
about
get away.
77, 78, and then when championships come, I'd go 75 for championships, but usually I'd probably be 77 anyway. One year I made 71. And I think I actually weighed.
You must have looked ill.
I weighed 68 at one of the fights as well. I came in because I didn't think I was going to make the weight, and I ended up being 68 kilos.
Fucking hell.
That wasn't a good weight for me.
Where were we? Cheeseman Byfield, right? Yeah. So you sparred a lot of cheating with Ted. You said.
Yeah.
He's I tweeted and his dad retweeted actually. I said he's a relentless motherfucker. He's the kind of bloke. If you owed a fiver to him, I bet you'd wake up the next morning with like 50 WhatsApps, 2 voicemails. I imagine he's that relentless in every fucking. Walk of life.
He's like Brian and Stewie on Fair. You got my money now?
It wouldn't surprise me. Like he's just so relentless. Like
he is. He's just like that. Inspiring. He's like I said, he hits harder. But then again, I don't want to take anything away from Felix, but the whole gym they kind of all train. I don't know if you look at all of them, their fucking hamstrings and legs, they're all just so forward. Like all they do is push it. Do you know what I mean? Like all they do is walk forward. They don't know how to take a step back. That's just all they seem to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you look through their gym, who are the smart boxers? If you actually think about it, Cordina, is he still in the gym? But he's little. He's a great boxer.
I see him spar. The Scottish. What's his fucking
Burns.
Yes, Ricky Burns, and I'm not going to say too much, but Cordina looks good. He looks.
I mean, you said
I'm
not going to say it, but Cordina looks good.
He looks good, yeah. I'm not going to... let's just put it this way. I'm happy I'm not his weight.
Yeah.
I'm happy I don't have
He's
to
a great boxer.
Fight. Yeah, he's a great
boxer.
Excellent. Great, he's excellent.
But I know what you mean. A lot of them are sort of power orientated. When you look through who they've got there.
Cordina, when he was in the amateurs, I thought slick as hell. Maybe lacking a bit of sting in his punches now. All he seems to throw his power punches.
Yeah.
Watching him spar anyway, that's from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But no, the gym they kind of.
Do you ever get it where you watch sparring, you watch two guys spar, and you think, fucking hell, they're taking chunks out of each other. Fucking that would be a nightmare to spar. Then when you actually spar them, you think it's actually not that bad. Do you know what I mean? Like,
does it sometimes look worse?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It sounds worse.
I look at them and I think I've got to fucking spar this cunt next week. Jesus Christ! Like, and when he comes to it, you think, I ain't even that bad. Like they look relentless, they look powerful.
Who is your hardest spar, Richie? When you think back and you think where your head was at in the spar when you thought, I don't like this. This geezer's he's hurting me, or he's just such a good boxer. Is there any spar that stands out where you thought he was fucking good? I
never felt like I didn't want to be there because I was just laughing. I'd be like, fucking hell, I'm getting my fucking head punched off here. And he'd be like, well, you got a couple more rounds, mate. So there was a lad I sparred. I think he was a Cuban or something like that.
Oh yeah, he said he came down to.
They told me he was a middleweight, right? Yeah. So I walked in. The first thing I said, because I knew he was massive, I was like, fucking, you're a big middleweight, innit? And his coach was like, huh? One middleweight to another. And I thought, no fucking middleweight. And he was a pro and he went back to amateurs, but he boxed as a pro as a light heavyweight. Or fucking cruiserweight or some shit like that. So he clearly wasn't. He was an amateur middleweight, but he probably more like 82. Yeah. He was fucking enormous. But when I throw a hook, a lot of people, they'll sort of lean and tuck and take on the gloves, but he wasn't. So if I threw it, he'd step to it, stop it there, and then he'd stop that there, he'd stop that there, he'd stop that there. So usually you get leverage on your punch, and as you hit someone, if you have your hands up, Sam, you'd lean across, so you'd take on the glove like that. Yeah. He was leaning into it, so my hand would go there. I'd get to.
He stopped the motion.
Yeah, stop it there, stop it there, and I just couldn't fucking hit the cunt. Like, first time was alright. I tried to throw a few jabs and it was nice, and that was like, that was alright. Like, try and stick it on him a little bit.
The next round he takes all the confidence out.
That's what happened. Like the first round I felt like he let me do what I wanted. Yeah. And then the second round he was just
to get you to open up a little bit.
Yeah. And I just couldn't fucking hit the bastard. Yeah. And then I was just fucking trying to trade with him, hitting fucking nothing. Yeah. It was just the most awkward spar of my life. It wasn't the hardest. It was just fucking awkward. Didn't know what to do with him.
Cheeseman Byfield went away. A lot of people thought he would. Cheeseman is I think he's a good worthy British champion. He's going to be. I want to see him fight Fowler now. I'd like to see that. Have a little bit of a domestic rivalry. It's cold now, bless him. Look, close the door.
You want to see him fight Fowler now?
Yeah, I want to see him fight Fowler now. Fowler sat there ringside last night with his little smug little mush.
You don't like him?
No, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is about him. I just can't get on board with Fowler.
Maybe you think I think he thinks he's a bit above what he is.
Maybe because
Yeah,
for as
Fighters do that. We know
Isn't
fighters.
he-
what did he
Yeah,
do in the
yeah.
Olympics? For as big as he was, like as pedigree and all that, what did he actually do in the Olympics? He got beat at the Olympics quite convincingly. Didn't get anywhere near like the second
It's
round.
enough
Was
to
it?
qualify though, Sam. It's hard enough
Of
to
course,
qualify.
I
And
get
you
that.
can you can have qualified and lose your spot like that by losing to a boy twice.
Of course.
In any bout, can't you? You can easily lose your spot.
I don't know. I think the pros. I think Ted is going to be a nightmare at the pros. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think it's
Everyone's going to
different.
avoid that guy, man.
So
I'm looking forward to
I'd like
watching
to.
a good fight. So after watching now a couple more times on TV, I think you know
Yeah,
what?
but then again,
I'm looking forward to
do
seeing
we
that.
really think he's going to be in good fights? Because who's going to really want to fight him?
I
He's
want
gonna
another
get, yeah,
Walker.
gonna get tough. You're gonna
I
get
want
tough.
another
They're
Walker.
going to get really
Not
tough.
necessarily people that are really good, but tough.
Yeah, but he's on that level now where he's British now. Next is European
He's not
or
going to get
Commonwealth or
mugs.
something. He's not going to get
You
mugs,
might get a few
but
mugs
he's going
at
to.
European because you can.
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
sort
you
of
can probably
pick a few here and there, but British can't
when
do
it comes to British, well, he's there now, so it's either he wins it outright or moves on to Commonwealth or the rest. It's just like what happens to
He bashed up
when he-
Carlson Jones as well, didn't he?
yeah.
And that,
convincingly
you'd
as well.
expect a fight like that to be like, right, he's learning, that's a perfect fight.
Yeah.
See how good he come through that.
Fighting,
And he's
did
tough.
it easy.
He's
And
tough,
Carlson
so-
is fucking tough. But again, look, it's I don't know. I think Fowler needs more time. I think if he fights Cheeseman now, it's a mistake. He loses convincingly. Even if I'm gonna say this, Mackenzie's gonna be fuming at me, but I think Fowler gets stopped as well by Cheeseman. In
Really?
my opinion, yeah. If he fights him now,
Is he training?
no, he just loves him.
It's a fight I want to
We were
see.
talking about it the other day, and he's like, "Nah, you don't know if I was like, yeah, but I know Cheeseman."
Listen, with them both being Eddie fighters as well, it's an easy fight to make.
Yeah,
it'd
very
be a
easy.
voluntary
And
cooperation.
they both do it.
And-
They both do it.
Yeah.
You know they both do
Yeah,
it. They'll
of course
both be
they
well
do.
up for it. I personally just think it's a mistake on Fowler's side. It'll be good for him because he's young, he can rebuild it, even if he loses.
Yeah.
Either of them, to be fair, they can be
A few
rebuilt.
boys
too.
doing it now, don't they? Fighting each other.
It's
You know,
good.
we've seen it a
So
few
you
times
should.
recently
So
now,
you
and I
should.
like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
so you should.
Yeah.
Because there's enough pull. It's not like, oh, you lose once and that's it, your career's in shatters.
I've had this argument with people on social media.
Fucking
They lose
don't
one
my
fight and
head
they go, he should just retire. Why? Because he lost one
Yeah.
fucking fight.
Yeah.
Why?
Like, if everyone retired after one fight, 85% of the greatest fights I've ever seen
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened.
And you got to think
I'll
about
say it now. Taylor Jones, like his career best performance was after he got stopped by Nick Gemman. When he won that Southern Area title against I always forget his name.
MH
Bournemouth, MH Leg. He looked very good. I know we'll talk about it after, Linus. Tay looked very good, and that was after he got
did look
beat.
very
scared.
good.
Stop
And that was
saying
after-
it, Sam. Easy.
it did look
But that was
very
after he got beat by Nick Gemman.
Yeah.
So my point is,
But there's always-
what's a loss
Do you
really
know what I
if
mean?
you
Look,
learn from it?
He lost and went on to win somewhere as well.
Yeah.
You look at, let me bring another sport into it. Look at UFC. Every time I see people that they look wicked, I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
They're doing a build up and they're about to fight. They've got a couple of losses. They've got one or two
Yeah.
like that. Thinking, why do they have so many losses all the time?
Yeah.
Like find each other like relatively in their like sixth fight each
But there's no
because
journeyman.
they just jump
There's
in
no
and fight each
journeyman,
other.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's what
There'd be more
that's-
50-50 records.
Yeah.
Like in the amateurs,
Yeah.
you'd have something like 40 fights, might have 30 wins if you're really good. If you've got more wins, you're fucking really good. But
Yeah.
if you're a 50-50 fighter, you've had
you've
fucking
had-
tight matching,
yeah,
like
yeah,
tight
you-
matching,
you've had-
matchmakers
you've had-
banging.
Yeah. The difference is because for example, the UFC is an organisation.
But it's all a business now, though, so you're never going to be in. You're probably going to be in more 45-55 fights, even
Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah.
You're trying to pick. If I can fight you or I can fight him, I'm going to pick him. You just a
Yeah.
little
You're
bit.
gonna be
better. I
like, you
get
know
the
what? I'm
same
gonna go
prize.
to the easier route.
I get the same prize. It's still noted as a 50-50, but he's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So that's why I suppose you will always have 70% wins if you like.
Yeah, but there's a question on a fight that I left after the Byfield Cheeseman fight, and I got back and watched John Ryder. But in the middle of that, there was the Doyle and Jordan Gill fight. One of the questions was that was billed as a 50-50, and I didn't see it. It's actually on the telly now. But the question is from our mate Lou Smith, who sends in at least 11 questions.
Every time.
One week we're getting him on to answer his own questions. He said, obviously Doyle and Gill, Gill looked like steps above him basically. Haven't seen much of him, but he looked a class above Doyle. He won the Commonwealth last night. He's about 21, 22-0 now, Gill. So
What weight is this?
Feathers, I
Featherweight.
think. I think the Feathers. Is it Feathers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know a lot about both of them. I know he's got a very high. It's like 21, 22-0 Gill. He's a Coldwell fighter. Didn't see the fight. We're watching bits of it now. But yeah,
Looks
he
nice.
looks good. He's putting shots together well, and he got the win. But I didn't watch enough of it to say what I really think about him. To be honest, Gill. But I just want to finish up on the John Ryder fight against Sorokin and the body work that he puts in. A lot of people, and Craig Scott put it this morning, I think he's got to be one of the best body punchers in Britain. The way he wraps around them elbows. And it brings us on to a question from Rob Cass. Linus, you sparred John Ryder. Did he ever catch you with one of their body shots? Tell us about sparring John Ryder.
When I first got in, well, I've sparred him 3 times now. The first time I sparred him was... The first 2 times I sparred him were significantly easier than the last time I sparred him. Because, I don't know, he just didn't seem as strong the first 2 times. And then when I sparred him a couple of weeks ago, I got in... Just did what I normally do, he moves around, try to just stay on his outside, on his lead hand, because I know if I get around him, he's personally, I feel like my feet are quicker, so I can get around him and just kind of keep him away from me. I know I wasn't going to hurt him, I was just here to learn. But he was so much better at stopping me doing that and closing me off, and I didn't realise how strong he was. Not when he hit me, when I went to move around him, and he kind of wrapped me up with his arm and just kind of literally shifted me back right in front of him, and I thought...
Fucking hell.
Like, what are you on? And I thought, okay, well, whatever. I can still get out of this. You know what I mean? I'm weak, I can get out of this. Moving around him, and he hit me a couple of times, and it didn't really affect me until like 8 rounds in or whatever. And we was only meant to do 5 or something like that. And what,
they liked your work? So
I just said, you Terry, I can do more. I don't actually mind because I'm here. I may as well just do 10 because I want to learn. Fuck it, I may as well do it. And then moving about, and he caught me a couple of times around the body, and it didn't hurt too much. It was when he hit me in the head. It felt like every time he hit me in the face, I just thought he's like dismantling my face. Like, it feels I'm wearing a full face head guard, and I can feel every single fucking punch, every one of his knuckles hit me in the face.
Yeah, in your whole face.
Yeah. It's like you know how some people hit you and it'll flash, and it's like, oh fucking hell, I didn't see that coming. It'd hit you. And he'd hit me in my arm, and you'd feel everything. You'd feel bone to bone, and you're like, "Oh my goodness!" Like, I can't believe it. He was not that strong. On. Yeah, he was not that strong.
People that can hit you, and they will literally move your body.
Literally. As he hit me, I was like, "Oh fuck it!"
Because obviously he was middleweight for a long time, and now he's super. I guess he just because he's short, isn't he? Short, especially for super middle,
and you can't move him. Like I'm moving around with him, and I'm hitting him here. Oh, I've gone to his body a couple of times, hit him to the head. And even when you hit him, you hit him to move him.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere. You try and spin around, and you're not going anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know where you can kind of control people with their head or whatever? Tried it, not moving. No. Like, I went to pull his head. No. He's just like, he just looks at me.
That's why his name's the gorilla.
End up awkwardly pulling yourself towards him.
You end up just hugging him in the end. You're like, oh, you know what? Why are we even fighting? Come here. But, you know, he's extremely... He's the gorilla for a reason. He's strong as hell, and he's a lot.
He's so thick in his frame, his body just it just looks fucking.
And then he's a much better boxer. He's a much better boxer now, in my opinion.
Yeah,
a lot better. But no, he's they're doing really really good work with him. To be fair, he's hitting so much harder. And
he's now that was the final eliminator for Callum Smith's WBA Super Chat. He beat George Groves for. That's going to look ridiculous. Ryder's a very small super middle, and Callum Smith looks like a cruiser.
Yeah.
Can you imagine them like the face-offs? It's going to be like face to chest, isn't it? But listen, he deserves just one more shot.
Yeah,
it's a world title shot. He's never had one. But you know, he's lost to Billy Joe Saunders. Who else? I can't remember. But he
lost to a really tall middleweight or super middleweight.
Oh, fucking Rocky Fielding beat him for the British.
Rocky Fielding beat him for the British.
That looked crazy. And Callum Smith's a bit bigger than Fielding.
Yeah. I watched that in Torquay after one of Bad's fights.
Yeah. Yeah. Now listen, fair play to him. Fair play to him. But yeah, I like John Ryder. He's a nice bloke as well.
Yeah, he's sound.
So yeah, that him against Callum Smith is going to be a mad fight to watch, isn't it? Apparently they're looking at putting that on Wembley, maybe April. About right, isn't it? Was it 5 months' time? Yeah, it's about right. One more big shot.
Fought what, a month ago or something?
Yeah, end of September. Yeah. So yeah, that was that card. There's a lot of questions have come in about the card, so we'll answer them. One of them was about the venue itself. Now, let's get the question up. Daniel Smith. I liked the Copper Box last night, but after the venue not filling up and the top tier being closed off, should last night have been at York Hall? That was the first time I've been to a fight at the Copper Box. And for me, like I was talking to this guy called Highfield Boxing. I don't know if anyone knows him. He's yeah, Highfield Boxing. He sent in a couple of questions actually, but I was talking to him and he loves it. He says, I love this venue. Don't know what it is. It just the way it's set up, the way.
Why are you calling him that anyway?
That's what his Twitter handle is, isn't it? Highfield Boxing. I'm not going to give away his old identity. That's who he is. He's Highfield Boxing.
Okay.
I don't know why he changed it. I think he wanted a clean slate. So
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So he's got a new identity anyway. Highfield Boxing. Like he likes the venue. For me, it's a nightmare. Parking around there's a joke. There's for a place that has an arena with 7,500 people. Just build a little fucking car park or something. You end up having to park on pavements and double yellows and taking the risk on it, but I suppose that's not their problem. They're hosting it in a 7,500 capacity arena. The whole top tier was closed, which looked about 2,000, 2,500, and there was a lot of empty seats in the place, which surprised me. I thought it was a very good show on paper, and it turned out to be a good show. So I reckon there was 3,500, 4,000 people there. York Hall holds 1,100. It was probably
too more than that in there.
Yeah, you could cram them in, but I don't think legally you could sell that more than 1,200 tickets at one time. You know, I don't know. It's a weird little venue, the Copper Box.
If I've ever been there.
That's the first time I've been there. Like for a fight. I think did they do the Olympic boxing there? Because I went to one of the Olympic boxings, but that might have been somewhere else. But anyway, it's a weird venue, and I'm surprised it didn't do that many tickets last night. I'm literally 3,500, 4,000. I think they had the idea right. They thought it would do around 7,500. I guess it was too big for York Hall. The fights wouldn't have worked at York Hall. I don't think, because there'd have been more people than 1,100, like 100%. So they tried. For me, the Copper Box is a weird venue. I don't like it.
What would have worked then?
I don't know. Is there something between York Hall and the Copper Box, like a 3,500, 4,000?
Brentwood Centre with tiered seating.
They're not going to take all these London fighters to Brentwood. That ain't happening.
No.
They're all London fighters
way.
on there last
You
night.
need a venue like that though.
I say they're not all London fighters because Gill and Doyle went, but obviously the Chamberlain and the Spiders, the people that they were in 50-50 fights or supposed to be, are London fighters. They ain't going to go out to Essex for. I mean, what off the top of my head, I can't think of a Matchroom show in Essex. Don't think to my memory, they haven't done one for a long time anyway. But I think the Copper Box was probably the right idea capacity-wise. Just turned out they probably sold out 50% of it. Maybe that's why I got media. Fuck's sake, let that prick it. Yeah, I need to make up the numbers, maybe. But yeah, for me it shows. We all talk about the buzz that boxing's on and the highest on this show. Last night there were so many shows I couldn't even catch all of them. But it's still no guarantee that people are going to go to them. Do you know what I mean? Last night I thought that Copper Box show.
Boxing being a good place doesn't mean everyone's attending it. Boxing as a sport, there's good fighters about fighting,
we're talking about
each other
and watching
it's all good, but remember we're in and amongst it, so we know each and every show that's on, where it's on, who's on it.
Yeah.
Does Joe down the road know?
Last night clearly didn't capture the imagination of any casual fans. That's what you can say. And why is that? Is it because there's no name on it? Because there were on paper 450-50s.
That's the problem we have though, because if there's no big name, people ain't gonna. They need names to get people to know these people, but if people did know these, they'd probably see better fights than what they would if they only went. Some of these people that only go to the big names won't.
Listen, if they went to just Joshua's fight, they would have been the undercard. They wouldn't have cared who. They don't have a second thought about.
They're probably missing out on better fights.
Yeah,
100%.
The other question. What are you looking at? 24. You may stop it there, Rich.
I'm just seeing.
Are you the boss now? Yeah.
I'm just helping
you. Are you telling me? All right, I'll stop it here because you've told me to. Yeah. All right, fine. Alright, I've checked with the boss and we're going to do this. Is how we're going to finish up the show.
He starts giving it large, but the amount of times we've sat here and talked to nothing with the Sam impressed fucking record.
Once or twice, maximum.
Once or twice is too many times.
Alright, sorry boss. We'll talk about Pulev Fury.
You want to get whooped again?
Leave me alone.
Get whooped.
No.
Adrian to see it live last time. He had his wife come out of a broom, hitting me with her fucking shoes and shit.
Broom or shoe? Which one? You should have stuck with one. Both. We're going to do Pulev Fury, then all the questions, then we're going to talk about Linus, alright?
We're going to talk about that Bulgarian that whacked his coach as well.
Oh yeah, on the show. Yeah, we might as well. Might as well, yes. Rames Mahmood. What would your coach do? So that's
coach would fuck my
that was
shit
on
up.
the
I wouldn't even throw a punch at him. He'd fucking break my arm.
He was in Reece Belotti's corner last night, your man.
Yeah.
Your coach.
Yeah.
They got like 4. So you had Jimmy Mack Jr. What's the brother? Tom, and then
he doesn't actually look like any of them.
No, he doesn't.
He looks like adopted.
Looks like the milkman.
Right. Okay.
And then Terry Stewart, obviously.
Yeah. Terry's a cut man.
We didn't even touch on Belotti. He's obviously came off his defeat and he's going to come back. Did you see a lot of him? And You don't ever cross paths, innit?
Not really. Not
You have
really.
the
I
day
think he
crew
just-
and then the evening crew.
Well,
right?
I do both, but I never really see him. I think he just does odd days. I don't know. I think he just does days I'm not there.
Yeah.
But I've seen him once, and that either he does really early morning on a weird day because I come in at 11. Normally that's when Jake will come in as well or something, and Reece will be leaving. Well, I knew he would have just trained with Congo or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't really see him much. I've never really seen him train.
Right, let's do the Pulev Fury. And start off with that guy randomly swung on his trainer in the
He
corner.
lost, I think.
He must have lost. He
and
can't have been
then
happy and then chinned his fucking
Coach was
trainer.
like, mate, calm down. I think he's gone, fucking, you calm down.
Can you
And he
imagine
swung
that?
back at him as well.
What do you reckon would happen
back.
what would happen if that happened in Britain? Or do you reckon they'd both lose their licence?
So
Could the trainer try to chin him back?
I've got a thing up about, like, how would they handle that? Because
Yeah, how would the
between the
board...
two of them, innit?
Yeah, but it's in front
It
of it.
looks terrible.
It's
It
like
looks
Lee
terrible.
Bowyer and Kieran Dyer. They both got sent off for that.
They've got to get, like, they've got
Yeah,
to get
I should be
suspension.
two men on just
Yeah.
because they thought I'd be like, you know what?
I know.
Contract's ripped up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get him to the board and they'll both probably get suspension.
Yeah, get like a fine.
Have you ever seen anything like that where a trainer and
The
a...
trainer might just get a fine because he didn't.
He did try and hit
did
back.
swing
but-
though, didn't
He
he?
did swing.
Yeah, but it
He,
was
over the
fine.
ropes, he swung and then went back like shit. Leave.
Actually, I've took this case on the pads.
Yeah. That was very, very strange. But Pulev Fury, the fight itself, it kind of went how I thought it would. I hoped Fury could get a win just because the winner of that fight's AJ at some point, and I think it would have been more interesting for it to have been a Brit against Joshua. Pulev is a tough, effective fighter. He's not fun to watch. He's not a... He doesn't put
Looks like a
combos
tough cunt,
together.
doesn't he?
Yeah,
He
he's got
looks like a tough
head
cunt.
like a boulder, that cunt, mate. He just fucking... He's just everything you think of when you think of like a Bulgarian. Big...
He's not even Bulgarian.
stro-
So
Yes, he is Bulgarian. Where's he from?
how much want to bet?
Was
How
he
much
born
wanna
in a different country?
How much want to bet?
Okay.
Alright, he's born in another country and he lives in another country. How much
No, he
wanna bet?
doesn't. Why was the fight in Bulgaria?
How much want to bet?
No, wait.
much wanna bet?
No.
How much wanna
I'm-
bet?
Where have you heard this
How much
ridiculous
wanna bet?
information?
Oh, can you not box in another country then?
No.
Is that illegal?
Yeah, no. Kubrat
Come on,
Pulev.
let's have a
Kubrat
look.
Pulev is Bulgarian.
Let's have a look.
Kubrat
Let's have a
Pulev
look.
is
Let's have
Bulgarian.
a look.
If you've proved me wrong,
Let's have a look.
I bet he's like Siberian.
Sofia, Bulgaria. Are you okay, hun? Kubrat Pulev, born in Bulgaria,
Yeah.
boxes out of Bulgaria. You look like a wanker, don't you?
What were you gonna say? Where is he from?
Where did you think he was from?
I was actually thinking of the other fight we were talking about earlier. Because I
Who?
box wrecked him.
Who are you
That
thinking of?
nutter that's fucking trying to spark his culture.
Oh, why didn't I take the bet, mate? Pulev is Bulgarian, yeah. Boxes out of Bulgaria.
Fucking nutter.
Look
He
at the
looks
size
like
of
a
his
cunt.
head.
If he weren't a boxer, he'd be fucked on himself, wouldn't he? Like,
He'd be a bouncer.
What are he doing?
Yeah,
He'd be a
no,
bouncer.
literally. I'm pretty sure I've seen
He'd be at
him.
faces.
I'm pretty sure
You
I've seen
cannot
him.
come in, boss. You are not coming in.
Just slap you to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's effective. He's not the most fun to watch. He's just tough.
The fight weren't that fun to watch.
Fight wasn't that fun to watch. What I will say is, it wasn't ideal for Hughie Fury that he got a really bad cut in the second
He would
round.
have won anyway.
No, probably not. Which is a shame. But he's 24. Like, maybe we're doing him a disservice because these are all big learning fights. The Parker.
Listen, 24 is a young heavyweight.
A young
you can go
heavyweight.
until you're 40. So
Yeah.
he's got a long time in front of him, so
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter.
Pulev's only lost his Klitschko, right?
There is literally, he could literally be into the next generation of heavyweights at
Yeah.
the top. So he got 6 years and then he can come back.
You're right.
He's
There
got-
could be a new Dubois and Gorman, and who knows where they'll be.
He's got so many times like at that weight. There can be so many phases of fighters that come
Yeah.
and go.
The only thing is, he's been British and vacated it. Oh no, I say vacated it. Is that officially vacated? Because he beat Sexton for it, knocked him out. I might be wrong. He may not have officially vacated, but you can't imagine he'll want to make defences of his British title.
No, he's
Maybe
moved
maybe
on.
he'll box at European for a couple of years. That's a possibility.
But why not? I mean, the only problem with that is, in 2 years' time, when we go, oh, when's he going to move on? When's he going to? He's gone
yeah,
backwards. He's gone backwards. We
yeah.
just complain about that. But for himself, maybe not. He's done it too quick, but he could have took his time more.
Maybe.
I'm only 24.
And then we would have complained that he was taking too long, wouldn't we?
But-
But it's he's fucking 30 and 0 now. Who's you boxed?
yeah, but
That's
I
what
get
we'd
it,
have done,
I so
innit?
get it. I so get it.
It's
It's hard to
getting
get
it
it right.
right.
You can't get it right. You never get it right.
No, you
But
just got to go with
in
what
a
you
different
believe.
weight division, it would be different because you've got less time. As the lower weights go, you've got less time. Because
Yeah,
you
because
lose
you've got to
your
worry
speed.
about weight
You
and
lose your
making
speed
weight
and
and
everything. Yeah, the heavyweights they do tend to go until they're 40.
yeah.
You know, early 40s, and then they start to slide.
Listen,
but
if he goes European level for 2 years, maybe boxes a final or eliminator for the world title in 18 months, 2 years. Try again. There's no.
Can he not float around underneath, win a European, blah 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 blah, and just say I'm not ready yet. I want to make sure I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm not ready yet.
I would like to see
People
him do
may
that.
get bored, but he can't headline shows doing that.
See, do you know what's the biggest problem? When he boxed Joseph Parker for the world title, I think, and it goes back to what you said about McNess and that, I think it's kind of made us realise Parker was never a real elite heavyweight. He had the world
I said
title.
that before we boxed Joshua.
You did say that.
I said they've just brought him over, someone for him to move about with.
He won his vacant belt against John Ruiz, who, you know, isn't top.
Same thing
standard.
they did with Lemieux. They took over the box Golovkin. Everyone's going, oh, he's a big knock. No, he's not. He's boxed 25 of his cousins in his back garden.
Yeah.
He's got a paper record, and he's going to go there and get knocked out. And they brought him over because it looks good on paper, and then everyone's going to believe the hype.
What are you doing? Going through his record?
Going through all the middleweights.
When he's bored, he just looks at all the middleweights. Yeah, Pulev, he's not the most fun to watch, but he's effective, isn't he? So he's going to fight Joshua in another fight that we won't really care about, I guess.
Yeah, I see something on Twitter. Someone's gone, oh yeah, we'll see him with him, and then someone else put on there, yeah, but who the fuck cares? Let's be honest. Do you want to see him?
Yeah.
That's the problem with like people like us, though. We just want to see him fight him.
Yeah.
Him fight him. Whether it's good for them or not, we don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I want to see 50-50s.
What about,
I want every fight to be 50-50.
What about if Joshua beats Wilder and then he beats Fury? What next?
Yeah.
How could there be
What are we looking
UD?
at? Unanimous
3
decision.
out of 3.
That would have been a
What do you mean?
It could be a competition.
Ultimate Boxer.
Oh, is it?
Who are you looking at? What fighter?
Jack Cullen.
Jack Cullen. I think he was in the Ultimate Fighter. The Ultimate Boxer, sorry. Ultimate Fighter's the UFC. Ultimate Boxer, you know that series?
Yeah, prize fight and all that. When you see them on the records, it throws you.
Yeah, and they were on the same night.
Twice on the same day.
Yeah.
What's this about?
3 rounders? What's happening? Yeah, so that would have been Ultimate Boxer. Sum up Pulev Fury, what we expected.
Bit boring.
Really shame that Huey got an early cut, because whether that would have affected him or not, we don't know. But Peter was quick to say his vision was affected from, which it had to be affected. It was a bad cut.
It would affect him, but I don't know if it would have changed the fight too much.
Yeah.
Maybe. He didn't look bad. He weren't. So I wouldn't say he got beat up, because he didn't. He didn't get beat up at all.
He got old man a bit.
Just got old man a little bit. Yeah. Like he kind of knew what he was doing, and he kind of didn't suss it out so quick. A couple of times, I think one time he stunned him as well. Hit him, backed him up. Pulev looked like he was, not. Backed up for a bit. And it was right at the end of the round, and then he recovered, and that was sort of that, the end of that.
Yeah. Do you think Joshua knocks him out clean? Pulev?
It just looks a bit easy to hit for Joshua.
Yeah.
It's easy to hit. You've got to be slippery, I think.
Alright,
Imagine
let's do the questions.
Like Parker could hit back, if you like.
I like that you just look through the middleweights randomly, domestically.
Alright. Got to look at what's coming.
You do it, didn't you? Do you ever go to your coach and be like, listen, can we fight him? Or what about him?
Sometimes I just have a look and then maybe send it to my manager and be like, what do you think?
What do you think of this guy?
He'll be like, too much. I'm like, yeah, I'm just about to cut him off on Twitter, so...
Be quick.
Right, there's about 21 questions. We've probably covered some, but
20 from Lou.
20 from Lou. We'll rattle through some.
How's it got hot in here already? Is it me?
Maybe you are that hot.
It's my cheek. I am hot in it.
I'm
fucking attractive with that. That's not hot in it. We're wearing a vest now.
Alright, first question, Lou Smith. When a life or death injury occurs in boxing, the sport is on high alert and some fights are stopped prematurely or pulled out by the corner. But when there isn't an injury for a long period, does this take a back seat till another bad injury occurs? Examples, Byfield and Yigit last night.
What was this weird fucking muscle you've got underneath your
We're
muscle?
trying to do questions and you're looking at Linus's muscle. It's a bit gay, bro.
When I was younger, when I was like 19, I thought, let me get weights, let me try and get girls, let me get weights and just get bodybuilding. When I did biceps, I never extended all the way down.
Yeah.
And I'd always extend to a certain way, so this would build out, but these never did. So I'd just like stop like there instead of going all the way out. So I have these deformities.
Well, now that we've covered Linus's anatomy, can we get back to the questions?
that girl's lump, by the way. So
they love the weird lump.
shout out to my missus.
Did you not hear the question? I don't want to repeat it. It was quite well.
Yeah, they take it. Yeah,
is it on more high alert when it's in the public eye that someone got hurt badly?
Yeah, if someone's been hurt, you see a lot of fights get stopped, and then because you see it in the commentary, when a fight gets stopped prematurely, they're going, oh, safety of the fighter, for example, what happened earlier. And then when it gets stopped early, they're like, oh no, I don't think that should have been stopped. I think they should have, when nothing's happened. So I don't think in that situation, I don't think you can win.
Well, Kevin Lilly, who's Danny Darko and Danny Dignam's coach, responded and said Byfield should have been pulled out. It was bad corner work.
I've I think there was a shout, but he was throwing.
There was a shout.
catching a lot of shots.
From what I watched that fight, there was no one to pull him out. He was losing, but he wasn't getting bashed about.
I think when you look
I
at
think
it,
he was getting thrown about, but he wasn't just helpless. He wasn't
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
sitting
he
there.
wasn't
one of
taking
his
shots. He was throwing back.
one of his most successful
Wasn't a
rounds was
punch
like the
bag.
11th.
Yeah, he was throwing back.
And
So I think there's an argument.
I
There's
also,
an argument for either.
there
way.
is argument for both because he could have said to his corner before, "This is my shot at the British title.
Yeah.
You don't pull me out unless I'm getting fucking."
But how many times have you
mullered."
seen a fight? And I do it myself. You see someone get stopped, and you think, no, it's a British or it's a title fight. They should be let to fight until they can't fight.
Like
no more.
Tommy Coyle in that Mexican or
Yeah,
Colombian or
the
whatever.
last week one.
Nah.
Oh, going way
Like,
back.
ages ago, when Tommy Coyle probably made a name where he got pinged 3 or 4 times, he got put on the floor.
And then
Then he
carried.
come back, and then it was like,
Yeah, see that's the.
it was like
That
they stopped
can
him, and I
happen.
went, oh, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. I was like, shit.
Yeah, see it can happen. It can happen
They
where
wouldn't have stopped that.
someone can come back, but
Yeah, I think I know what fight you're on
Yeah,
about.
you know what I'm on
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the fight that made Coyle. Everyone was like, you know what, this guy's Rocky. You know what I mean?
yeah. It
But
happens.
it's one of
man.
those. Is like, remember, it's a big stage,
I
and you
think
got to
that-
think as the fighter. Don't get me wrong, we're all going to be like, don't stop it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I sat down and my coach was like, listen, I think I'm going to pull you out,
Yeah, it's
then I'd
hard.
be like, look, you know best.
Yeah.
I genuinely would do because my coach does. You know what I mean? I'm going to be like, nah, because I've sparred with the Gale, and I've done 12 of them when I was meant to do 8. Only because I'm like, nah, fuck it, I've got big balls here. I'm not going to get out.
That's the same thing with
See
that
what I
Cuban.
mean?
He's hitting me, punched my head, and I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah.
fuck this. And Al goes, you alright?
Yeah.
You alright? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, let's do fucking loads more.
Yeah.
You don't want to say that.
You do not want
it's
to
ne- you
lose
never-
space. You
you
don't
never
want to
ask
go.
the fighter.
Nah, I'm not gonna. You don't I could get put on the floor. And
You can't ask the fighter that, can you? It's
Yeah,
not fair
you
to ask
can't.
the fighter because
Yeah.
they can have their arms hanging off and they'll be like, yeah, I'm fine,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Literally, could be getting battered left, right, and centre. And
That's why it's so, and why the word "quit" gets thrown around so often. Because not so often, but because the rare occasion that a fighter goes, "I've had enough," it's alien to us.
yeah,
Like
do
you
you
said,
know
you see
what I
a
mean?
fighter go down
only
3 or
this
4
year.
times.
Yeah,
You see a fighter going 3 or 4 times, and the ref keeps getting him up and letting him carry on. He drops his opponent once,
yeah.
and then the ref stops it. But remember, the ref's looking in their eyes and thinks, oh,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
getting dropped,
He
but
can-
he's all right. Like, he looks
Yeah.
there, he's with
Do you know what I
it.
mean? Like,
He can go down once and
Like-
think,
like-
he's looking into space.
as a fighter, as someone that you've seen, maybe you might hurt someone and you see him get up and you can see visibly how hurt they are.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen some people like Tay's stoppage against Cheeseman, see him get up, and everyone's like, no, that was stopped a little bit early, but you watch it, he gets up,
Oh yeah, no, Tay was.
and then they're like,
like
yeah,
that.
come forward, and he's like looking at him, and he goes, no, come forward again, and as he goes forward, he stumbles a little bit. You've got to stop that.
Yeah.
That's you know what I mean. You've got to.
Yeah.
That's when it comes to help. But at the same time, as a fight, only this year, because before I was like, nah, I don't care. I don't care if I'm getting punched. And I thought, you know what? Live another day. You can come back. I'm 25. You can come back.
Yeah.
I like to think, realistically, if I got put on my ass and I'm hurt and getting hurt badly, I just look at my corner and be like, look, do you know what I mean? What do you think? Do you know what I mean? What do you like? If my corner looked at me and waved up a towel and went, do you want to stop it? Because I know that's what they'd do. They'd be like, do you want to stop it? And I'd be like, yeah, I kind of do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just taking a beating and I don't feel like I can come back. No matter what, I don't feel
Yeah,
like I
to
can come
fight
back.
another
So
day.
I'd rather just come back
Yeah.
another time.
See,
So.
the thing with Byfield, even when he got knocked down, it wasn't a heavy
It wasn't, you
knockdown.
know what? I don't, because
Was
as
he
he
off
was
balance or
turning,
something?
nah,
He got
because
caught.
as he
I've
was
seen that
turning,
now.
Yeah.
as he was turning, it snapped his head back, and then he
He
went
kind
to
of
turn
fell
again,
back.
and then his head kind of pushed to it.
Yeah.
It
It was a
yeah,
strange way. It wasn't.
I think it was still knocked down because it was in the
Yes.
effect of a shot.
Yeah.
But he weren't hurt.
He wasn't
because-
dropped.
Yeah,
He
no,
wasn't dropped because
wasn't
his
dropped.
head was gone. It
His
wasn't.
legs didn't
You
go
see,
down.
he went on his arse and he put his hands down. He
And
sort
he
of
just
like
kind
a
of got
smile.
up and was like, yeah.
Yeah, he got me. He got me. But so it's both cases for it. Was
Yeah.
he? But he landed in the
It
11th.
depends who you are.
Yeah.
And plus, you got to know. But I think Byfield is. You've never really seen him in that position.
Yeah.
And he was throwing back.
Yeah.
As long as you're throwing back.
It's the
and,
ref's job to recognise what you look like right up close, like say.
and it's their job.
Do you know what?
It's their
Isn't
job.
it
They know
wrong?
what they're
Isn't
doing.
it wrong to say bad corner work but not bad reffing? Because they're both there for the same.
They're both
they're
there to stop the fight.
They're both
if
there
it
to
gets
stop.
to
Yeah.
that.
So
Both should be held
and they're
accountable.
closer.
Yeah, they should.
If you two
Yeah,
are fighting, I'm the ref. I'm closer to you than your corner.
Yeah.
All right. You care about the fighter
You
more.
do see times where the ref will go to the corner and say, I've got to see more from you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You see
yeah,
it all the time. I need to see more
I like
from you.
that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
that's good.
I really like that.
Really good.
Because
yeah.
you- right now,
it's kind of like
you're
you're behind,
skating.
mate. You need to
Yeah.
work hard.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
like, no,
listen.
you're doing good.
Yeah.
No, literally,
But
it'll be
it's for
like,
safety.
got to
Yeah.
see more from you because you're getting bashed up here. If you don't give me something, I'm stopping the fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know? I don't know if you see it in boxing. In MMA, you'll see it. Yeah. You'll physically see the ref go fight back, and if
Yeah.
they don't,
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
do get that in boxing.
Yeah.
No, I think they do.
yeah. I've never.
I've seen once or twice maybe where someone's getting hit No, I've never seen it.
I thought I've seen it.
only
between
rounds.
And UFC physically, the ref, MMA, they physically tell you
fight back, and then stop it.
Fight back. Okay, no, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. You don't fight
They're
back.
giving you the chance, and I like that. It's different ways of reffing in different sports, obviously.
Yeah, it's completely different sports.
I wonder if last night when Isaac's with the last 10 seconds where he's pummeling Watkins, if Kieran McCann goes to him, Luke, you got 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
not that you can tell him the time.
The reason why they can't do that is because I suppose during the fight it seems like you're favouring a fighter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You need to hold on, jab.
Yeah.
Jab more.
Just hold him.
To be fair, I won't name the ref. I've been in a fight where I started slow, and coming back now, and I started working, and I remember just like jabbing a guy. Went 1-2, and I heard him go, "Good shot," and again, and I was like, and I started cooking. I looked over, and I was like, okay.
I did in the amateurs, but not in the pros.
Yeah, literally, I heard it. Yeah, like I'm not gonna say which fight because I'm not gonna put the referee under the bus as well. But he was like. I don't know.
Well, like that American who's always got the
smile.
I
love that guy.
He comes in,
What's his name? Willis.
Steve Willis.
Yeah, I love this shit. Love a job like Steve Willis loves his job. The quality.
The referee's a good job though, man.
Right, let's rattle through some more questions. We've done Rob Cass on John Ryder and the body shots with Linus.
Talking of body shots, remember that thing we used to do? We should bring it back.
That's one.
We did a glove. We got a glove.
No, Paul Altai asked, "Are you still doing that? Boxers get a free body shot." That's the question. The answer's no.
The answer's yes. Linus, you got gloves in the car.
No, I said I have. I've got gloves, but I said no.
No, we'll do it.
That's called assault. If I say no,
why are you scared?
I'll tell you why I'm scared. Because I don't want to take. Listen, this man has a fight in 4 weeks' time. He has a.
We need to know if he can punch.
I know he can punch. Listen, listen to me.
Flinching.
There's a very serious question, and it's I want to ask this, and it's a very serious question. Craig Scott, does Linus feel that his progress could be hindering stablemate Brad Paul's progress as they move towards titles? Is this something they have discussed? And the reason I think it's a great question, because Ramirez and Ryan Walker are in the exact same boat. Ramirez and Ryan Walker's now fighting for the English. And the southern area is completely tied up. There's problems with it with the board. So Ramirez is going to have to box some more tick-over fights or prospect fights or whatever you call them. And you can kind of see that maybe having had to happen with Brad. What are your thoughts on it? Again, it's your career, but you and Brad have a good relationship. What are your thoughts on, does it hinder Brad?
I don't really know. I don't really know.
It's a good question.
It's a really good question. In a sense of like agreement, we kind of thought, oh, in a perfect world, one of us goes for the area title or English or whatever. Mm-hmm. Assuming everything goes well, you win it. You kind of leave it alone. Hopefully, everyone gets in line for it. Mm-hmm. Whoever goes first, I've just been fortunate, and it's going to sound a bit shitty, but through Brad getting an injury, I've been put through.
Yeah, because
we're exactly at the same amount of fights. We're exactly at the same stage.
Steps in front.
Literally, and he had the eliminator, which was his gate.
That was before you as well.
Yeah, it was before me. Yeah. So that was his gateway in, and I was like, yeah, wicked for him. And then he had an injury to his hand, and he had to get surgery on his nose, which in a twist of fate was a blessing for me because then I got put through to be mandatory. You know what I mean? But we understand that there's no. At the end of the day, we're both in it. Do you know what I mean?
You don't reckon behind your back he's going, this prick, man?
It's just
freezing his gloves before sparring.
Yeah. But it's one of those where we've spoken to our coach. In the end, no matter what you say and who's hindering who, our coach made the decision who goes first for it anyway. So if we had to sit down and we're both completely 100% fit, both 10-0, my coach makes the decision at the end of the day. So we've just got to stomach it because he knows.
Is it beyond the realms of possibility you would ever fight each other?
Oh, well beyond the rounds because we're going to be with the same trainer. If he moved on, maybe. If we moved on, we probably would be because it would be as soon as we move on. There's probably going to be someone saying, "Oh, why don't you two fight each other?" Yeah. Even I get that now. I'll go to his fights and I go, "Oh, when do you two fight?" I'm like, "Oh."
You not spar how many rounds together?
Yeah, it would be good though. It'd be good.
Yeah.
But no, it would never. As long as we're both with Terry, we'd never fight each other.
You know that happened last night, right? Danny Jacobs boxed Deveredchenko. I don't know how you say his name. And they're out of the same gym. So the head trainer was with Jacobs and the assistant was with the other guy. Mad, isn't it?
Weird, man.
Because it was for a world title. It was for the IBF middleweight title last night. So they came to the decision.
Let's make all the money.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's make all the money.
100%.
Yeah. So yeah,
I mean, if it came to that, then I don't know. I'd have to go to Terry and my management and see what.
There's enough money, mate. I'll fuck my mum.
Yeah.
Nan, I know you're coming off an injury, but I've been offered the fight and it's good money.
Yeah. They want me and you, Nan.
Don't worry, I won't hit the hip. No, in reply to that question, it's a weird one. I don't feel like there's any animosity. If he was in this position,
he sat there on a pod and he said exactly the same as you,
Yeah.
where obviously you've got your own career, but
Yeah.
you lot form this bond, you lot train together every day,
Yeah.
and he only wants the best for you. That's what he said.
I only want the best for him.
And then he went off camera. As soon as I turned that off, he said, "I hate him. I literally can't stand him." No, it's mutual. It's good because you think about it. The amount of time you spend together, training, chasing the same dream.
Yeah.
Like
Builds a bond.
Yeah.
Builds a massive bond.
Question for Linus from Daniel Smith. Does Linus, as part of his training, take anything from other sports or train any other sports as part of your training? So, do you take anything? I know you do a bit of running and that, but kind of everyone has to do that.
Play a lot of football.
I know people that don't do road work.
Yeah.
They reckon it's not good for knees and shit. Some people
No, look, running more than, in my opinion,
swim and row.
running a lot. Running, like, you can run, do some sprints, do this and that. Never really more than 5 miles, I'd say.
So you see boxers go, just finish a 12 mile, I feel great.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good for you.
I don't think.
But I'm a man with absolutely battered knees. So
but then again, you know what I mean. There's sometimes where you need to build some kind of base fitness. That's when you may need to like do a long run like that. But no, what was I even on?
Any other sports where you
Any
sort
other
of
sports,
intricate? Are you bring in any other?
Yoga.
Yeah, you like yoga. Yeah, you like
do a lot of yoga. I guess swimming. A lot of swimming and football, but that's just I really enjoy football.
You any good at football?
Listen.
No, but are you any good? No, because
listen,
people look at me and
when I
wouldn't
was
realise.
15 years old, yeah, they said I did the trials for Ipswich,
Okay.
and they said
Bro, you made a bad
great.
choice. You're a boxer. You should have been a footballer.
everything's great, exactly what we want, but you're in it's too short to be a centre back for us.
Oh, he's a centre back.
Yeah, and I was like,
You
okay.
should have moved to Spain because they lack a small centre back there. Look at Cannavaro, Italy, but sometimes you can get away with being.
Listen, I was Greek. I still am.
Yeah.
But listen, it don't matter. Let's forget about that. But no, there's a lot of other sports. I like sports in general. Like when I go on holiday, all I'm doing is shit. Because if I go on holiday with anyone and they're like, "Oh, do you want to go out?" I'm like, "No, I want to go to the gym or go to
play
like,
tennis."
play tennis."
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, and go. All I want to do on holiday is play.
I know weird that tennis
Activities.
is
Yeah, I
always a
love doing
sport.
it. Like everyone goes, "Oh, did you want to do an activity?" I'm like, "Yeah, what do you want to play? Like badminton or what?" And they go, "No, I want to go like on an excursion." I'm like, "Oh, fuck that! I'm gonna go to the like pool."
Excursion.
and,
Oh,
like,
yeah, let's cycle up that mountain.
yeah,
That's a
literally.
good excursion.
I love just sports. It's sports in general. You got to be a bit. You got to be
Linus, you can
professional.
do London to Paris with me then, cycling next year.
London to Paris.
Balls
Yeah.
chafe after a while. I need like one of these seats on the bike. Yeah, I need like one of these. I'll be fine then. But no, I don't like the fucking narrow seat, man. I don't know.
You
how
got to
people
break
do it.
your arse in to sit on it.
Cycling as well. I do a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of that. It's a lot. It's a lot. You can do a lot more. You can go a lot further, and I feel like it. Unless you're doing sprints on running, but I think it does more for you, like physically, biking.
Yeah.
I mean, build your legs up and your lungs really.
Right, we're going to do 2 more questions because then we're going to talk about Linus, and I'm on a time frame. So I'm going wine tasting, innit?
Ugh.
I mean, bruv.
I'd say pause it because I'm about to say something racist, but go on.
White people and their wine. Black people like wine too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had a wine with a black guy now.
No, exactly. I bet you ain't. I bet you haven't.
Probably not. Shit, I'm gonna make it my
Rosie,
goal.
I
I'm gonna make it my goal. Next time, Jamani drinks pink gin with me. Yeah.
It's not wine though, is it?
It's pink gin. Is that worse than wine?
It probably is.
Yeah, it
wine.
probably
It's
is.
wine, yeah. Jamani's
Jamani
not,
will drink what he
yeah, but
drinks.
Jamani's not.
Jamani's not a black guy.
Yeah, he's not.
Not a real
no,
black
no, I'm not going to say that.
You're
Yeah.
questioning
I'm
his
not going to
blackness.
say
You
that.
can't
No,
do
he's
that.
blacker than me.
Questioning his blackness.
He's got dreads and shit. He's blacker than me, but he's not your average person in
He's
general.
not, no, he's
yeah?
not.
So you can't.
We
really
saw him
go
Friday
Asian.
night. What did I say? I said, this motherfucker's dressed like a supply teacher. he had a rucksack. I said, he looks like a substitute teacher. Jamani is my guy. I love him, but he's not your average person.
No, he's not at all.
So, yeah.
I was going to go into something else with the wine, but it might spark something.
Yeah,
so
it
we don't
might.
need it. We don't need it.
Do you know what? I love a bit of fucking racial banter.
Look, okay, I had an ex-girlfriend, yeah, white, and I went on the whitest holiday I could probably say. Went to like the west side of the country.
Oh,
And it's just like
You've got a caravan holiday.
No. It's like a cottage thing. And I went in there, I was thinking, this is straight get out kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm like, fucking hell.
Get out.
Anyways, I'm there, yeah. So I'm sitting there eating dinner with them, and I'm like, so what are we doing tomorrow anyway? And they're like, oh, we're gonna go wine tasting. oh, we're gonna go. Oh, it was some other white shit. It was like, oh, it's fucking mad. I was sitting there thinking, I went to this vineyard, yeah, learning about where wine's made, how it's made, this and that. I'm thinking, wow, this is it's Saturday, you know. It's Saturday, you know. It's Saturday to fucking summer. Like, am I seriously here?
That's hilarious.
Shout out to my ex. Anyway, I'm there, and I'm like,
It sounded like a Little Mix song. Shout out to my ex.
yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, I'm sitting there, and then they're like, so you get the wine, and you get this bucket thing. I'm like,
You got spit.
yeah, I'm like, what'd you do with it? And they go, oh, you drink it and you spit it out. And I was like, what? And they go, this is what we do. It's wine tasting, isn't it? And I was like, okay. And then after you have to like buy all this wines and shit, and I'll come out, they give you crackers and all that shit. It came out.
Did you just call us crackers?
No, they give you crackers. They give you, like, they're like, oh, we're gonna give Ricky some appetizers, and they brought out like cheese and crackers, and I thought,
Bro, that's my average Friday night. I'm not working. I have cheese, crackers, and wine, bro. I don't care.
that is the whitest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, no,
I'm sitting there thinking, I'm out of place. I don't know about this.
I'm so lucky. Like, obviously, I grew up in Edgware Road, predominantly white estate.
Yeah.
You talk like a black guy from
He
London.
does talk like
if
a
you let me
like
talk-
that from
Sam
Blackwood Road.
O'Reilly from Fight Talking.
Well, what happened was I grew up in a
That was
predominantly.
terrible, by the way.
It was terrible. Predominantly white estate with white kids, but Edgware Road is an Arab area, so
Yeah.
there was a lot of. Like I love a shisha, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I got sent to a Battersea to go to school because I got in trouble in my own area, which was predominantly black area.
Yeah.
So all my friends at school were black. My friends in my area were white, but I knew all the Arab boys.
See,
So I mixed with everyone.
me, growing up, everyone I saw was white. Until
Yeah.
I moved to Luton, and then went to college, and then started meeting black people.
It's weird, isn't it?
That's just...
It's weird how it works. You think of Brad down in Plymouth and that. Like, but my mum's from Plymouth,
That
innit?
place is
So
a
and Devon,
mess.
it's a
That place
mess.
is a
These
mess.
motherfuckers got 6 fingers. I survived. Man. I got lucky.
I went there, and I was so, who's that cutting the tree? What the fuck is a Greg's there? What's going on here? It's all over the place.
I don't know. You got to love a racial stereotype. Though. Them carrot
It's
down there.
it's what brings us together. It's what brings us together.
It is. Do you know when you
You
don't
can't be offended by it. Like,
when you don't have how I feel is if you don't have racism in your heart, it's all fun. Like
no, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's no malice in it. Your black friends, your white friends, because if you don't have it deep down in you that you have something
it's
against
how
another
you're
race,
taking it or you're rejecting that.
But if you
just
have
got hate in
something,
you.
then you have hate in you, then nothing comes from a good place because you can't escape the negativity. That's how you feel, and you portray it. You can see guys that will make a joke, but there's a lot of truth said in jest sometimes.
Yeah.
But when you truly don't have any, you don't see any difference, and it's,
My whole life, I've grown up with all walks of the earth. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
grown up with people with a Turkish background, Bengali, English,
yeah.
some Yanks now and then. You know what I mean?
This is England, mate. This is England
It's
now,
England.
which is one of the most multicultural countries in the entire world.
Entire world.
So if you got racism, you've got problems, mate, because you ain't gonna go anywhere where you're not. You know, you make your own issues.
I see colour like that. So anyway,
we digress.
Great,
I don't even know what the question came from, but that was a good talk.
Was that even a question?
I don't even know. We just started. I liked it. Fuck it. That's what we do. One question.
What's the time frame looking like anyway?
Hour and a half now. Hour and a half. We're gonna do one more question, and then we're gonna move on to you because I need to get you out so I can go and spit some
Take
wine.
your
And shit.
fucking turkey and rice
Do some
somewhere else,
white
bro.
shit.
I ain't eating
Turkey
some
and
fucking-
rice.
I ain't eat your fucking food like that for about 3
Oh,
4
yeah.
months, mate.
He's
Mate, I
alright.
feel good. I'm on weight, mate.
I'm on weight.
You hear that too? I'm on weight.
One question. Highfield Boxing. Will DAZN succeed in creating a boxing monopoly? Obviously, Eddie Hearn's Matchroom America and DAZN are involved in it, and it's at the minute it's going to take a lot to. It's hard. There's so much going on, like World Boxing Super Series, and then Eddie's fighter last night, and 2 weeks ago Eddie's show, and then he's got a show on the same night in England. There's a lot going on. I think it needs time to settle down, and the biggest thing they need to do is stop putting fights that clash. There was about 4 or 5 shows last night, man. And what's happening next week? Fucking Josh Taylor's fight, but there's nothing else. Well, as far as I'm aware, there's a British Warrior show, but I don't know. I'm just sick of seeing big shows clash, and there's going to be a pay-per-view clash on December the 22nd. I don't know anymore.
Fucking with each other.
December 22nd, Frampton Warrington, which in my opinion isn't
The
pay-per-view.
Fury thing was funny, wasn't it? A while ago when he kept announcing stuff every time that Eddie put something out.
Yeah, I see you in Vegas. Like, no one knows it's in Vegas yet, and it weren't in Vegas. Now it's in LA. He kept just releasing shit, didn't he? He don't really care. But yeah, that'll do for the questions. We've done an hour and a half. Let's talk about Linus. Right, let's talk about Linus. We're going to first talk about the fight, and then I'm going to talk about shit I know about Linus that I want him to spill the beans on. Linus Udofia, you are boxing for the Southern Area title on December the 1st against Tay Lynn Jones.
Yep.
You've been calling for this fight for a little while. You wanted to fight Tay.
Yep.
You want this title. Now that it's coming, you're a month away. First of all, how are you doing? How's preparation?
Really, really good. Really, really good at the minute. Everything's just perfect right now. Everything's just going really well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just everything's banging, every aspect of it.
There's something I want to talk to you about. It's come out this week that Taylin Jones is going to box on the 3rd of November, which is 6 days' time. So it's 4 weeks before your fight.
Yeah.
Any concerns? Any worries? He obviously feels he needs to tick over. He's been out for a little while. I can't remember exactly when he beat Cordona. July?
It was in sometime, yeah.
July? Maybe July. That rings a bell. July 14th in Grays sounds in my head, right? But we'll find out when we box again. But that was his last fight, I think. And he obviously feels he needs a tick over fight for you. Any worries about that? That, you know, he can get cut, he can get injured, he can get knocked out.
Yeah, these are all active possibilities. I just hope he, you know what I mean, gets a tick over fight. I understand that. I had mine about 6 weeks ago.
With it being so close to your fight, though.
Yeah, it's a weird
If you got
move.
a cut, you'd be alright by now.
Yeah. It's a weird move. It's risky, but that's how they feel, and that's what they feel comfortable. I'll be there anyway. I'm gonna be there.
Was there any talk about it? Like, had you heard it was going to happen?
Someone had said it to me, but they said about the British Eliminator or whatever it was, or British.
Lou Crowcroft. So that was announced. It's still actually on BoxRec. That was announced before it announced about you.
Yeah.
He was going to be fighting the guy that knocked out Cello Render in his last fight.
Yeah.
And obviously now they then announced you were going to fight him instead, but that's still on BoxRec. So he's not going to fight Crowcroft. The first thing you said to me is, that is a tough fight.
Yeah, for 4 weeks out, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no,
I'd rather have seen this fight than that. I'd rather have seen this and that.
Yeah.
So I was
Well,
like,
especially us,
see how
'cause
fucking hell, like...
For me, I first interviewed Tay when he was 3-0. Linus, you were 2 or 3-0.
Something like that.
Do you remember that fight when we went through it at York Hall when you got interviewed by Tay and Booth?
Yeah.
Absolute
that
bizarre.
He's a weird guy. He's just... Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
He's
mental.
a weird guy.
But that was
Anyway,
that was like your second or third, and I followed you both, and I have a relationship with you both. I like you both, but it's a fight. How long have I been saying I want to see this fight? I want to see 50-50s, but more than that, I want to know where.
You at the live podcast, didn't I? When the fight was being talked about, then I said I was looking forward to that fight.
Yeah.
Because we know the guys and we know where we think they can get to and where they might be at now, and it's the fights that we want to see. So I'm glad you're about to. Does this feel like your first fight? Obviously,
No.
it doesn't feel any different to you.
No, it just feels like another step up.
Yeah.
I've had a few, you know what I mean? I've had the Mets, I knew that was going to be quite hard. And I was the one that said I want someone like him. I want a harder fight. I want someone like him, especially that early.
You stopped Bailey Demetz, Tay boxed him. I think, is that your only mutual opponent? Actually, Bailey Demetz.
Yeah,
I think
so,
it is. You stopped him. I think Tay beat him on points.
Fairly close, wasn't it, as well?
I can't remember. It was. I was there. It was a Dove box show. Listen, Bailey Demetz is a good fighter. I gave him the first rounds against you.
Yeah. So did I.
Yeah.
So did I. Funny enough. But he's very good. He's just relentless. He wouldn't give me a fucking ounce of anything to have, and my coach just said the right things, and I listened to him really, and I got him out of there.
When you look through the other domestic, was it just Tay you were looking at?
No, I was just looking at who was around that area, and I looked through. You know, when I actually picked the Mets, I'd gone out of my way and just picked 3 names that I wanted the fight to kind of, because I thought I don't want to be just stagnating around, you know, tune up fights, this and that. I want kind of a challenge. I'm not scared of losing. I just want to improve. I just want to keep fighting. I'd rather be in a harder fight than a piss easy one.
Yeah.
So I looked at BoxRec, looked at a few things, and then looked at 3 names. It was Nick Jenman, Taylin Jones, and Demetz. And I threw them all to Josh and Steve Goodwin. And my coach was like, I don't mind any of them.
Yeah.
And then Goodwin and that just said, you know, it's up to you who you want to fight. And, you know, we just kind of went for it, and I think offers got thrown out left, right and centre, and Demetz came back and was just like, he came back the quickest, I think, and we just went with that.
And now, it's an eliminator for the English as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is that vacant?
No.
Oh no, that's Elliot Matthews had that because he beat what's the guy at Kent? Grant Dennis in a very, very close fight. So has he still got that? Elliot Matthews, he vacated that.
He's supposed to fight the Commonwealth, wasn't
he? He was supposed to, and then that got.
Who
the fuck's the English champion at middleweight?
Someone said their name. Look it up.
I can't remember.
Someone said their name. Tall guy. Tall Tall, rangy.
English champion. I can't remember, but so this is an eliminator for that.
Yep.
Does that? I mean, I see. You know, when you look at Southern area, some boys want to do the Southern area English British. Is that exactly how you plan on going?
Yeah, I want to take every stepping stone to
You
get
don't
up.
want to skip anything.
Yeah, I don't really.
You'd rather not skip it.
Yeah, I'd rather not. Because I'd rather build up that collection. To not only say, oh, this is what I've done.
If you win the British, you can't go back and win the English, can you?
It's just weird.
It's
You
weird,
couldn't.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just, you know what? Who's done it? Who's done it? Unless you lose it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to lose it to go win the Southern area.
Yeah.
I'd rather win it.
Or you win the Southern area and then try and feed you to someone.
Yeah.
And you think, do you know what? No, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do the English.
I'm going to do my thing.
When I feel like it. When
exactly.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Middleweight English champion is Reece Cartwright.
That's it.
Don't know a lot about him, to be honest. Don't know really. He must be. Is he based up north a bit?
Must be.
Don't know. Either way, this fight has got me fucking buzzing, and I'm praying, fingers crossed, Tay comes through with no cuts.
Me too.
It's just the cuts. I don't think it'll be the fight. I don't think he'll fight anyone silly, but he tends to get cut, doesn't he?
He can get cut. Yeah, it's a fight, isn't it?
How does it work out for Dave? 26 or 27?
20. So it'd be
because I know it's 28 days. You get cut.
Yeah, 28 days for cut, and the fight is 28 days later. Your fight, right? It's 4 weeks to the day.
Actually 28 days.
You go. So that's the 3rd of November. Then you have the 10th, 17th, 24th, 1st of December. 4 weeks. 28 days to the day. Would the board sign off? And can he spar in that month though? That's the problem. So let's say he gets a bad cut, but it might be your problem.
It might be because
he might go. I can't. I'm cut. Physically, I'm cut, or I hurt my hand. Injuries happen. Let's hope he comes through, man. Fuck me. I hope he comes through that fight. No scathed, nothing. Unscathed is the word I was looking for.
I think it's a great fight for both of you. I think
great fight for both.
Whoever wins can move on to something better. Whoever loses has disgraced themselves.
It's 50-50, isn't it?
It's a proper 50-50 fight, yeah.
And I'm not scared of losing. I'm not scared of losing. I can always come back. But you know, obviously,
how old are you?
25.
Oh, you've got fucking plenty of time.
Yeah, I can always come back. I'm not scared of losing at all. So, and I know he isn't either.
How do you do with tickets?
Who? Him?
How do you usually do
not too, I've done well so far.
Yeah.
I've done a couple hundred so far.
It's not problems there. You're doing a couple of hundred a fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All aspects are good right now. Weight's good, training's good, sparring's good, tickets good.
You're in a good place.
Everything's sound. Everything's all in place. Waiting for a few more people, but everything's
that can be the problem, which I think sometimes fighters will get. They'll get to that level, be right where you are now. Yeah. They'll lose out on that fight. But then people are bored of watching them do that, and if you're struggling with tickets, that fight would have been the fight that would have drawn people back in again.
And now you've lost it.
And it's lost those people.
Those people that maybe went, oh, you know what I'd actually go to is a big one. When you announce again that you're just going to tune up again for another big one, they just go, nah, I'm not coming.
Didn't happen last time. I'm not going to waste my money. Or they'll leave it till the last minute to buy tickets. Then you'll be stressing through the whole camp, thinking we're not coming.
Things have been really good right now. Things have been perfect.
Do you think when you get stoppages, it helps sell tickets?
Massively.
You've got highlight reel knockouts. You've got 2 of them now. The Bailey Demets and the
Wankwer. I think obviously the platform definitely helps as well. The Haymaker platform, because
how often do you speak to Dave? Does he give you a bell every couple of days?
You know what? You say that. No joke. No word of a lie. I think it was one of those iMessage, not his actual number. It was an iMessage one. It messaged me. And I was like, "Who's this?" And he goes, "Oh, it's Dave, the Haymaker." And I was like, "Oh, how's it going? You alright?" And he goes, "I've got you on the Betfair thing. Here's a video if you want to use it."
I didn't see this. Someone tweeted it.
Yeah,
I still didn't see it.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't tell you what round. It might have been like the 4th round, 3rd or 4th round.
Of what fight?
Of AJ's fight. The actual AJ fight.
The AJ.
Yeah, you see it come in. And I was like, everyone mates went nuts to the thoughts while he was in there. He was like, oh shit! And but yeah.
What is it? Just like a little training montage?
Literally. Have you even seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it still.
Yeah, so I'll show you after. But yeah, it was basically my fight, and it was like some guy walking up to like a bet thing, and he puts a bet on AJ to win in 1 to 6. He looks up, and it's me fighting on the thing.
Oh, is it?
And then he looks down again. Yeah, he
in
looks
the
down
middle of the AJ fight. That's quality.
Then he looks down again. He clicks something else, changes the odds, and then looks up again. I knock him out. And I was like, that's it. Yeah, and he sent it to me, and then I can't remember what he said. He goes, "I've got you some royalty for it. Don't spend it all at once." And I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Dave,
and I was like, "Oh, sweet." I mean, he didn't have to do that. He could have just kept it for Haymaker. He didn't have to actually give it to me because it was through his own promotion. So he did that, and then we had a bit of banter about strippers and shit. And yeah, literally, I shit you not. He's talking about, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I know it's something about chicks or something," and I replied something else, and he was like, and I went, "Oh, just for a joke, I like my chick's BBW, and he was like, oh, like, what, big black and white or something, and I was like, oh my god,
I'm having this conversation with David Hay.
Dave, literally, I'm in the car, like, I cannot believe I'm having this conversation with him.
When you speak to him next, tell him I need a new glove. My glove's got fucking damage. My son's
breaks his
glove.
heart as well. He's his biggest fan.
Yeah, everyone knows I'm his biggest fan. I have no qualm. I mean, if you look around, there's how many Haymaker posters, pictures.
He takes photos of his wife down to put David Hay photos up.
Standard. Every day.
Cut a face out of a wedding photo and put David Hayes there.
That's good. I mean, like you said, he didn't even fucking. He just sort. That's good. I like that shit. At least he's thinking about it and he's got.
Yeah.
And you've got a promotional contract with him, right?
Still with Simon,
so if you win this fight and then they do start launching again, you could easily get a British fight. Yeah,
sky's the limit.
It's all set out for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like I got built
Steve's
so much better for this
job.
point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like especially with the tickets as well. Because I remember I put links up online, and literally we might have looked the other day, and I'd done thousands. I'd done thousands of pounds of it, and I was thinking, fucking hell, names I don't recognise. Normally, be like, I'll sell people to my mates, to people I know, business people.
People want to see this fight, though, don't they?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I'm just happy that I'm in this position now through my management, Haymaker, and everyone that's
sky is the
got me
limit
here. Yeah.
Let's finish up talking about some funny shit. You are not someone who likes. I wouldn't say. How do you word it? You don't like confrontation that much.
No.
You're a bit of a pussy. I mean, in the ring, you scare the shit out of me.
What do you mean? Never seen me in a confrontation. I'll throw balls. I don't care.
I want you to repeat a story you told me, Ramez, and that's even a question.
Oh, shit.
And Ryan Walker.
Were you there?
What do you mean was I there? I was the one crying at you, man. I was in stitches.
Oh,
When
okay.
you told us this in Tottenham.
He told me about this.
The story came about, we were in Tottenham, we were all saying, this is a slum, man. I brought my van because I didn't want my Range Rover sitting outside. I was like, I'm scared I ain't going to be there when I get back. We were saying so, and he was like, mate, let me tell you the story about when I visited South London.
Yeah, I can't remember what part it was. It might have been Clapham, it might have been... Basically, I'm in South London. My brother was DJing some birthday party down there. And he was like, oh, could you drive us down and give you some petrol money? I was like, yeah, no worries. I actually stayed there because no point driving back to Luton, is there? So I stayed there for a good few hours and I got bored in between. I want some food. I was like, let me just go out and see what's around. It's London, isn't it? But the area of London, it weren't like I could just go down the road and there's like loads of shops. I had to drive a little bit. So I got in my car. By the way, I have a Mercedes-Benz C-Class. So it's not, I wouldn't say flashy, but they know
nice
because they knew I wasn't from there.
Yeah.
They knew for some reason a lot of people were looking at me like, you're not from here.
Yeah.
Anyway, driving down the road and I was in this like single, what would you call it? One-way system, 3 lanes. And I was sitting there and there was a car in front of me. There's a few cars in front of me and I was sitting there, window down, music blaring. And
drawing attention to himself.
Yeah, I didn't even see him walk up to the car. Or I just remember this presence like right next to me, and the window's open. I'm kind of like I can't just put the window up because I'm still here. Do you know what I mean? I'm still sitting here. Yeah?
Just pretend you don't see him.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I just look up, and the wedges.
Felt like he was at a drive-through McDonald's.
Listen, the wedges, the biggest. He was wearing like some white beater. He was big.
Like Demo.
Bald as well. And he was just like, he had this deranged look on his face. I'm talking like his eyes were wider than I've ever seen anyone's. Like he was just like wide open, and he was just like looking straight into the car. And I was like oh shit, my heart sank. Yeah, I looked at him and I was like, oh my god. I was like, what's good, bro? Literally, my voice broke. I was like, what's going on, man?
You alright, mate?
Literally, mate, I felt myself like reducing like into the seat like that, and I was just like, what's going on? Because I'm in a vulnerable position. I'm sitting down. If you just grab me, I'm fucked. I can't drive off because there's a car in front of me. Anyway, he's like, yeah, what's going on? And he's talking aggressively, but saying nice things. But he's like, yeah, what's good? And I'm like, right, like, not, yeah, everything. What's going on, man? Say breaky voice, like high as fuck. And I'm like, yeah, not bad. And he's like, yeah, all good, yeah. I just, you got a little change. And I was like, oh, bro. And then I looked down, yeah, and for some reason I've got like £20 in £1 coins sitting in like the little cup holder thing, and you can see he's really looking at it. So I'm like, look, so I've got a choice now. I can't give him a couple because he'll be like, yeah, I can see more though. Do you know what I mean? And he's there, he's over the car, like, and I'm just like, I I've got to give him everything. I've got to give him everything. I've got to give him all because I don't want a problem.
Bro, that's my petrol, man.
I'm trying to be as nice as possible. I'm like, yeah, look,
I don't want to die today.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I've got a little change. I've got a little change. Yeah. And I've been even trying to divert him away with some gum. I was like, yeah, do you want some gum? And I thought, is he gonna think? Is he gonna think I'm saying his best things, bro? Like, I can't. So I'm like, look, you know what? Yeah, let me just grab everything. I'm like, yeah, just had his hand out. Yeah, well, he put his hand in the car. I was like, well, just give him all. Yeah, just like literally everything, every penny,
Dropped
every
£20 coin.
every penny. I gave him everything. Put it in his pockets. Stood there, and I was like, oh, you've got to be done. You can't. Do you know what I mean?
You know what time is, bro?
I was like, you can't ask for no more. And he's like, yeah, you're flexing, yeah. And I'm thinking, oh my god, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? And he started like being passive aggressive, like he's like complimenting me, but aggressively
with his rattling pockets.
He's
Where he just robbed.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I like your car. And I was like, yeah, but you're not getting that. You're not getting
I have to die for that.
I will fight.
I was like, yeah, 100%. I'll get this car right now. And I was thinking, you know what?
Dear.
What do I do now? And he's there like, yeah, thanks. And after robbing me, he spudded me and walked off. And he walked off. And I was just like, but I never got out of there. So
dear.
I was off.
I love that story.
drove down the road.
If Linus had got out, he could have just gone, just bang him out, 1-2, bam. Like the odds of this man having boxing training that could
but listen,
cope with this guy.
Yeah, but listen, I say, but boxing in a ring and being on the street are two different things.
Do your heart feel different, innit? Your heart, because it's not controlled.
Because it's not. Yeah, there's no one here going.
There's no ref to go. Right, wait, hold on.
Don't get me wrong.
Putting you on your head.
Don't get me wrong about it. Yeah, I'll fight if I have to.
I don't believe you anymore.
But no, trust me, I would if I have to. But when you're in a disadvantaged position like that already, you know, you kind of got to like assess. I looked at the situation.
But if he loses as well, he loses his car and everything.
Yeah,
Give him a drive off.
That's true.
I looked at the situation.
Befriend him. That's the way
I thought
forward.
this guy's pretty big. I can't actually.
Use your money and keep your car.
Look, I couldn't get out of the car. Like if I opened it, I couldn't get out.
He just hit him.
I couldn't get out of the car. I couldn't drive off because there was so many disadvantages. You could just grab. I'm sitting down. Like there was no way I was gonna make this.
Any worse.
Put the window up and he'd smash it. Do you know what I mean? I'm
with his head.
And I was just like, you know what? And he was. I've never seen anything like. He was like.
I wish this was on video. Like it sounds like something you get on.
I know,
like a dash cam or something.
Yeah.
Literally, he was talking to me, but he was shouting, but at me, but not
nice things.
Talking at you.
You good, bro?
Yeah.
I like your car, bro.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. I like that car. I like that shirt.
You got any change? Like that change that's there.
Yeah, you got that one there. And I'm like. I'm thinking to myself.
Did you drive away and be like, I literally just got robbed by the nicest man? He might have been a really nice dude.
I got to my brother, and I was like, brother, I just got robbed. And he was like, what do you mean? Yeah, all like, what's going on? And I was like, no, I told him, and he was like,
it's really this proper gentleman just robbed me.
Some weird guy just came and asked you for change, and I goes, yeah, but you don't get it. Like, this guy was the most intimidating guy I've ever seen in my life.
You know what?
And he goes, you're a boxer. And I goes, yeah,
he probably weren't even like that. In probably real life, he probably saying, "Excuse me, mate, I'm a bit broke. You got a couple of quid."
Yeah.
Because he's wham. You looked at him, you was like, "I'm getting robbed right now," and you feel it up in your head.
You know when you like see a bully, like someone this year used to get bullied bad in school, yeah. And 10 years later down the line, walking outside your office, look to the right, and you see a bully again, your face drops. Same way. When I looked at him,
he's bullied you spiritually your whole life.
I was like, literally, I sat there and I was like, yeah, fucking yeah. He's listening to me. I was like, I just felt a shadow coming my arm.
It got dark all of a sudden.
I looked at him. I was like, oh my god. I was thinking,
hi.
I was thinking, I don't know why he didn't even look homeless. He looked like.
Yeah, nice to train.
Yeah, look, trust me. He was fresh, white.
That's another crack in my haymaker box.
No.
Oh no! You need to phone Dave. I need another haymaker box. Shit. Oh no!
This guy had like this
That's
fucking Burberry. He had like a Burberry fucking vest on, some white Stan Smiths, and like some like joggers. And I thought, I walked over it. Only that person. I'm thinking, I don't even think he was homeless. I think he just came over and was like, give me some money. And I was just like, he put, like when I say he stuck it on me,
when he told me, Ryan and Rames were there, I was cracking up.
It was the worst thing.
Had me in the stitches. Listen, I'm running out of time. I'm going wine tasting, as I told y'all.
You white people.
You white motherfuckers. Go and have some super malt. No, listen.
bitch.
I know that's what's good about it. That was a joke story. I loved it. No, I think we're done.
Worst experience of my life.
Any other points you want to make? Anything else we missed out? If anyone could just share it, I don't ever ask for these, to be honest.
Oh, let's get Linus's socials. I know everyone probably knows him.
Everyone knows.
Anyway,
Linus has promised me he's going to get Dave to share this podcast. Dave's going to put it up on his Twitter. No, everyone's got you on all Linus_Udofia, innit?
On everything.
Everything.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Nice and simple.
Whatever I just said in the middle there.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Linus Udofia, thank you very much for coming. I look forward to your fight. Your opponent will be here in a fortnight. Any final messages to leave to Taylor Jones?
Good luck. Good luck next week. I'll see you there.
Nice. This has been the Fight Talk podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Let's go and sip some wine with my white motherfucking friends.